All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one, Friday afternoon. Schaefer and Sliwa here until 6 p.m. Kevin Acee. Will it be his first appearance on the show? Kevin, for a first time, will be on Schaefer and Sliwa. Has he been on before? I forget.
I'm not even sure.
I'm not sure if he has.
I don't even know if I know who you're talking about.
UT, veteran sports writer.
Okay.
He covered the Chargers.
All right, look forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Look forward to meeting him.
He's going to join us coming up at 4:30. He is our Padres Insider. He joins us 3 times a week, actually, on Schaefer and Sliwa. We'll talk SDFC with Danny Higginbotham, Apple TV. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. The herky-jerkiness of a baseball season. Is that a term, herky-jerkiness?
It's a big term. They use it a lot.
Big word. It's not even a word.
Caltech.
So the Padres yesterday, you're feeling pretty good because they get home. They took 2 out of 3 from the Giants. Yeah, no, the Giants, whatever, lowly Giants.
But okay. They lost the first one. So,
but here's the thing: you lose last night. You're like, well, hold on now. Yeah, they took 2 out of 3 from the Giants, but remember they lost 5 of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So as you take the step back, you're like, well, now they've actually lost 6 of 9. Even with the 2 wins against the Giants. So So my point off the top is this for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you get a general feel about a team over the course of a year? You feel good, bad, or indifferent. What's your vibe right now in the 22-15 Padres? 3-6 in their last 9, 22-15 overall.
Yeah, it's impossible not to look at the last 10 days of Padres baseball.
Since Mexico City.
So 22-15 is tough to. I don't want to know the 22-15. It's like
right,
I feel like I feel like you've already I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right. It's like you go out there and maybe you save $100.
Yeah.
I want you to stop talking about the 100 that you saved because now you're starting to spend wildly and it's not looking as good. Your account's a little imbalanced, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So what do I think about them? I think I'm paying more attention in the last 9 games because I've also had a lot of people tell us, all these different people that we've interviewed and have come on the show before. There's been a lot of, hey, you should pump the brakes a little bit, and you and I are trying to steamroll right through them and be like, no, this is it. They're playing well. Yeah, but if you look at the metrics here, and if you pay attention to this, and you lose a starter, and they can't do this from a hitting perspective, and that's not going to add up to consistent winning. So the taste it's not great right now. It could change, like you said, the up and down the roller coaster.
Baseball. And last night, and we can start here. In fact, you are in a game where Michael King is cruising, looking like the pitcher he's been for you by and large when healthy over the last two years heading into 2026. Alan, of course, he broke his sweat, but in baseball terms, 85 pitches, 6 innings. By the time you get to May, by and large, most starting pitchers would start a 7th inning, having thrown just 85 pitches. They elect to go to the bullpen. We talked about Craig Stammen just yesterday. Oh, he can do no wrong.
Can do no wrong.
22-14. They go to the bullpen. I don't know if it backfires, but again, they allow the run that ultimately loses them the game 2-1. That doesn't account for the fact that this offense did nothing last night. But did they either organizationally or even managerially make a mistake by not allowing Michael King another frame?
Yeah, I don't even really think it's a conversation. I'd rather hear somebody make the case for me why pulling King out in the 6th was a good decision. Because I think you're even listening to it, the game yesterday on ESPN, that's why the start was a little bit later. And they're saying on the broadcast, this guy's cruising. Nobody's touching him. And then when they go to the 7th and it's Rodriguez and it's not Michael King, they're saying, I'm surprised they took Michael King out. I think I get you might have predetermined decisions on certain pitchers, completely fine with predetermined game plans that you have for anybody within your lineup. Sure. I get that, but you have to have a margin for this is what we thought before the game started. This is where we are at the moment. You have to have a little bit of, we're going to have to give a 10-15%, sway here based on what's going on.
Right. Not so rigid.
Yeah, we can have our game plan, but I can create a game plan 2 hours before the game starts.
It never goes according to
3 hours, 4 hours later, whatever my thought process was, if Michael King is getting rocked yesterday and he's given up 50, he gave up 5 runs and he's 60 pitches in. I'm not keeping Michael King in to get to his 85 pitch count.
Right. Then he's got to go. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I think a lot of this is just based on You have to make decisions at a certain time. I really don't like the way they managed King yesterday. I really don't.
Okay, so this is what Kevin Acee wrote today, and we both saw this. This is what Kevin wrote today in the UT in his Padres Daily about King specifically. And it had to do with the fact that he threw just 85 pitches, right? So it says that we're handling King this way at times was something the Padres forecasted before the season. The decision to pull him at that point last night was made before the game. That once he got through 6 innings, if he was as fortunate enough as to get through 6 innings, according to Kevin in his writings today in the Union Tribune, the decision was made before the game, which means it's a collective group thing.
Sure.
Craig's sitting there, that he wasn't going more than 6. And Kevin then went on to say, well, remember, he was limited in innings last year, and they're trying to see the forest through the trees or maybe lose a battle to win a war because you're going to need him to throw 150 plus innings potentially to reach the promised land.
Nobody's asking him to go 9 innings. Nobody's asking him to throw 105 pitches.
Right.
I think the only argument I would make with that, and I get it, again, let's just say the Padres were up 3-1 and you're 6 innings in and he hit 85 pitches and you're like, we're good. You move on, then we're not having a conversation. If the bullpen gave up a couple of runs, that's a different conversation.
Sure.
Game is tied 1 apiece.
Yep.
You are rolling. You're starting a 4-game set against the Cardinals who are playing some good baseball.
They are.
Can you not give the ball to Michael King? And who knows, maybe in his first 5 pitches, he got you 2 outs. Can you not let Michael King just go up against the first batter and just see what happens? Hey, a quick single. We're taking Michael King out. We kept him under 90 pitches. All good.
Right.
What if Michael King is still cruising? What if Michael King got to 93 pitches and got out of that 7th inning? That's it. Like no harm, no foul. I don't think what was in their game plan based off of, again, listen, I know why they're doing this. They got their reasons. And you and I, 2 dudes doing a radio show in the afternoons, there's a method to their madness. I'm not questioning the method to their madness. But can we just add a piece to whatever their game plan was? It's 1-1 going into the 7th, and he's cruising at 85, 86 pitches. Can you not let him start the inning? Can you just not let him start that inning to see what happens? And then, of course, kind of ironically here, it's the 7th inning that they give up a run and they lose 2-1. Do they need more offense? Sure. Are we going to bitch and complain about their offense? Yes, we will. Again, this is just, I wish they would have gave him an opportunity to start the 7th.
He allowed a hit. One of
the solo.
It was that was it. That's how the run scored. Exactly. The solo home run. He had allowed a hit in 6 innings. Now, to your point that you just made as well, don't allow this fully to take away from the fact that the Padres in 9 innings had 4 hits.
Yeah.
The
absolutely.
Team at home in front of 46,000 people had 4 hits. 2 of them, to the credit of Tatis, belonged to Fernando Tatis Jr.
On Mason Miller bobblehead night.
On Mason's bobblehead night. We didn't see him, of course. Merrill, 0 he had been better. He's 0 at the top of the lineup last night. Machado is mired in a hitless streak. By Machado's standards, significant. It's 0 for 15 or 0 for his last 16 or whatever it is.
He might be 200 now, under 200.
He's at 202.
202.
And the OPSs of Merrill, Machado, and Tatis. Remember, I would call these 3, how we say Bogarts is the big 4, but the big 3, and give Bogarts credit for what he's done. He's had a very good start.
But it's unexpected this year.
Yeah, it's truly, and all Padres fans would agree with this. They have a big 3, and it's legitimate at its best. It's Jackson Merrill, it's Manny Machado, and Fernando Tatis Jr., whatever order. Their OPSs, Merrill, 670. Machado, 668, Tatis, 622. And I'm just telling you, it's rearing its head. It's not ugly yet because they're 22 and 15. But man, those 3 are playing with fire if this team does not play well, right? That is my general belief right now.
Can we go back for a quick second? Do you think, just on the Michael King thing?
Yeah.
Like I think there's also, every team's not created equal. And listen, we've gave Stammen a lot of credit in this. Maybe this isn't a Stammen thing. Maybe this is an organizational thing where we said, hey, Machado, no, you're going to have a day off. No, we're not giving it. We're not putting Michael King in a 4-out save, 4 or 5 games into the season, whatever it was. Like, we've also credited them for thinking big picture and not small picture. And I think yesterday was short-sighted, right? Like, I'm looking at this short-sighted. I'm not looking at the big picture.
Right.
Based off of everything that we know and Acee's report there and everything else, you putting King in to start the 7th, or is that the right decision, what they did?
I mean, ask me in 5 months. It's like,
that's my only issue.
The problem.
My only issue is like, they don't, I don't feel like they have this. That's why it's so important for them to start the season out well. They don't really have this crazy margin for error. Like, I think every win to the Padres is very meaningful.
Right. So you don't want, and I agree with you. You're saying, well, forget about the 4-month conversation, because for the 4-month conversation to matter, you need to be in position 4 months from now for it to matter. As in, this win or loss determines Michael King's value in September.
Do you ever see when baseball teams get too cute and they're like, hey, I'm going to save this bullpen guy because I want him available for tomorrow. And then they end up losing that game
all the time.
Happens all the time, right? Yeah. You get a little too cute. Sometimes it happens in the postseason, leading up to the postseason. I thought last night was a little too cute for me. And again, I just go back to it. I love how the Padres have started this season. Yeah. I didn't expect that. And I think that, there's an article out there, and we can get into it at some point, and it was the teams that can dethrone the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Don't go fully through that, because we'll talk about that on the other side.
No, but what the point that I'm trying to make is that there are a lot of baseball people out there that look at Padres one way, and their record has represented a different representation, right? So to me, a game against the Cardinals on May 7th might not mean like a big deal. But the problem is I only have so much confidence in the Padres that it's like every game that you get an opportunity to get a W on, I don't feel like you have the luxury of just saying, well, there's momentum with this pitcher. Maybe we let him start the 7th. And listen, if Rodriguez doesn't give up a run in the 7th and the Padres win that game 2-1, we're sitting here telling you,
we're not talking
look how smart the Padres are. Look, they had a plan on Michael King and they stuck with it. They look at the big picture, not the small picture, but it didn't happen that way. So it's tough for me to view it that way.
Yeah, it's tough to live to see another day when we don't know what the next days will look like. You got to get to the postseason. Now, I'm all for having a plan with Michael King and him helping you in September and October, but you got to get there as well. But a really good segue to an article written about teams that can dethrone the Dodgers. Are the Padres one of those said teams? We will discuss that on the other side. Plus, we're giving away tickets to see Pink May 15th, a week from tonight at Petco Park. We'll be doing that coming up. And Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider, will join us at 4:30. Just started here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, SDFC is on the road tomorrow night when they go to Seattle to take on the Sounders. Our coverage with Adrian and Darren will begin at 7 p.m. on your home for SDFC San Diego Sports 760. Brett's basically a DJ back there. He's a DJ. Did you finally do it?
Oh, I didn't turn my mic on.
Jesus, 6 weeks in, and this guy is like...
Well, sometimes I forget to turn my mic off. Brent can acknowledge that. Yeah. I'll just leave it on, and then we'll be at break, and I'm talking about, what would I be talking about, Brent? Ken Palm.
Brother, do you ever worry about that? You're like...
Oh, my God, worry about it.
Well, with us, too, with live streaming and everything.
Worry.
Because we live stream basically 36% of our lives.
I've had nightmares over it. I'm literally.
Yeah. John's potty mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I've dumped him more than anyone.
He has. You know that? What did I say illegally?
A-hole.
Why can't you say that?
Well, you can say that, but you can't say the actual full word, which you did twice.
Correct. In a week.
There's one curse word that you can get, it's approved. It's okay. It goes through the FCC, and they're this is the one. Which one would you pick? I mean, do we just go? do we just go for the F-bomb and just call it a day? I don't need that many F-bombs.
No, I don't
need that many F-bombs.
You watch me as well on YouTube, and I watch you on YouTube. I'm not a cursor.
Yeah.
There are moments where I'll be upset over something.
I got the word that I would want, that I would use.
A-hole?
No, it's, S.
No, I don't know. The S.
Yeah, SH, whatever. How I don't know.
Schaefer.
Yeah. Yeah, but honestly, that's bull. I want to be able to say that. That to me is a perfect one where it gets out the emotion I'm looking for without being too
right. I mean, you could
aggressive.
say it here, you'll just lose your job. You can.
How about this? When I lose my job, I'm gonna immediately run in here, try to get 3 or 4 of them out.
Now Brent is good because somehow Brent could be listening to audio. He could have someone. I kid you not, Alan. When I first started here, and they were training me on the board when I was producing Mark Willard and Rich Ornberger, I couldn't hear anything. It was moving so fast. I would just be listening to them, and I would be too late to dump something if there was a reason to dump it, so to speak. Right? Keep the audio
that's
off
a
the
skill.
air.
That's a skill.
But Brent could have 6 things going on. It's like Alan just said.
No.
Yeah, it's a dump them. I'm like, what? I didn't even hear it.
That's a tough one. I can't do that.
I need to ask you a personal question. Are you a fan of lists? Like a list?
Like a to-do list?
Yeah, or no, top 50 players in NBA history. Top point guards to never play in the NBA finals.
No.
Best college football quarterback. Yeah, either am I.
I don't care for them. I don't care for them because they're so objective, right? So
it's
subjective. I think that there's a little bit from my perspective, it's more of it's going to be opinion, more of it's going to be experience. I remember in LA, and it's you're talking about the greatest Lakers of all time.
Right.
All right. Maybe you watch Kareem. I didn't watch Kareem.
Right. But I've watched Austin Reeves.
Maybe you're a Kobe guy.
Maybe you're a Reeves guy.
Maybe you're a Magic guy. I'm just saying, everyone can have their different opinion based off of music.
Yeah.
Every generation says
best
our
album,
generation was the
best song. Yeah. Anyway, it's a long way of me saying there's a list at ESPN.com of the 6 teams that can dethrone the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Or beat the Dodgers. I have a problem inherently with the list. Go anywhere you want. I mean,
no, give it to me. What's your problem?
Well, not that the Padres aren't on the list. I have no problem with that. But you can't put the Pittsburgh Pirates on the list. I'm sorry. You just can't. I don't care what start they've gotten off to. I don't care. I know Paul Skeens is great. Terrific. They're not on the list. They can't. I'm telling you right now, they cannot dethrone the Dodgers. So the list is illegitimate because they're on it.
Now, here's the other problem with lists that we have.
Yeah.
They also do these types of things
just to
trigger a conversation.
The Caitlin Clark list.
Kane Clark.
10th best player in the WNBA.
And here we are falling right into their trap.
I know. But, I mean, do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that.
Come on. They're not.
I don't disagree with that.
The Dodgers.
I don't disagree with that. So this list, to give some more context here, MLB 2026, 6 teams that can take down the Dodgers.
Okay.
Should we just list them? And then there'll be a drum roll if there's another team out here in Southern California that's on that list?
A drum roll if there's another team in Southern California?
Not necessarily. Okay. I'm saying we'll get through 5 of them.
Yeah, Tell me you agree or disagree with their list.
Yeah,
okay? I'll say agree or disagree.
Philadelphia Phillies.
They've been hot. I'm neutral on that. I don't want to talk about the Phillies yet. Right? They're under 500. I mean, do you feel right now like the Phillies are truly going to win the National League?
I don't have to feel right now, but I don't have an issue with it.
You could see it.
Like the Phillies that's the type of franchise and players and have been knocking on the door.
Okay. That's fine. I could go in the agree camp.
I could go with the Phillies. Okay. The Seattle Mariners.
Sure. Because look what they did last year.
Yeah.
Right. And the ALCS.
I don't have an issue with that.
They haven't been great yet, but yeah.
We'll skip Pittsburgh, which I think we got roped in.
Yeah.
The Chicago Cubs.
Absolutely. Scorching hot.
It's funny.
What? How I said that?
No, the Cubs have this and they shouldn't, but they have a little bit. I see a little Padres in the Cubs. Maybe not this season because they're balling, but there's a little bit of how serious can I take the Cubs come postseason?
And their injuries. They have ridiculous injuries with their pitching.
Are their injuries season ending?
They got some season enders in there, don't they? Yeah. They got so that's concerning. But they get out at the deadline, but they're red hot.
Yeah.
Red hot.
The Yankees.
Of course. Absolutely. Definitively.
All right. And the last one I think is a no-brainer. The Atlanta Braves.
Absolutely.
Absolutely as well.
But I'm replacing out. If I was given the opportunity, I'm biased. I'll replace Pittsburgh with San Diego every day of the week.
I'm with you on that.
Every day of the week.
Now, I don't know if you want to I know Tampa's balling. I don't know enough about Tampa. I don't know enough about Tampa, but Tampa's also they play in a good division. They're not really, I would say that they're not intimidated by the big markets. They're going up against the big baseball brands every year. It's not that big of a deal to them. But I don't know enough about Tampa. You surprised Padres aren't on this list?
A little bit. Honestly, I am. I mean, because they've gotten off to the good start. Well, I mean, I could easily keep the Padres off the list by saying they have things that the Dodgers do not, but same with these other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're saying these teams are the equal, they're not saying these teams are the equal. They're saying these teams could. Mm-hmm. And under the could category, I'll put the Padres in there. Wouldn't you? Could.
Yeah, I need to see more.
Me too.
And what I'd like to see, and I think we could say we want to see more, and we could just say that for San Diego because there is history against the Dodgers. There is, I think can I see them go up against it? I don't know how much that would change your opinion. I mean, if they swept the Dodgers in the regular season, would you now change your opinion? I probably lean towards clearly they can beat it.
Yeah, I probably would. I love that. What do you guys think? Would you put the Padres on that list? If there are 6 teams that could dethrone the Dodgers, are the Padres on that list? We'd love to hear from you, Padres fans, this afternoon. 877-767-4760. If you want to weigh in, we'll take your calls on that. 877-767-4760 or text us 70470. Start it with the word team. This offseason, did the Padres make a mistake along with 28 other teams? We'll get into the latest on that. On the other side, plus Kevin Acee joins us at 4:30. Great giveaway for you this afternoon as well. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Airtasker. Padres and Cardinals are getting set for game 2 of their series tonight down at Petco Park. It's going to be Michael McGreevy going for St. Louis and Griffin Cannon going for San Diego. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 because they are on Apple TV. In NFL news, the Jets gave running back Breece Hall a 3-year, $45 million extension. His average per year now makes him only third among all running backs. He's only behind Saquon and Christian McCaffrey. In NBA news, coming up at 4 o'clock, we got Knicks at the 76ers. The Knicks just announced a little bit ago that they will be without OG Anunoby tonight with a hamstring injury. And then we got Spurs at Timberwolves coming up at 6:30. Tomorrow night, right here on San Diego Sports 760, we got SDFC going on the road to take on Seattle. Our pre-match coverage with Darren and Adrian will begin at 7 o'clock. Meet Chris. He's handy with tools and tech and likes earning extra income on his own terms. With Airtasker, he chooses which tasks he wants, when he wants to work, and names his price. Download the Airtasker app or go to airtasker.com. Airtasker, get anything done.
All right, Schaefer and Sliwa. San Diego Sports 760. Kevin Acee will join us in 1 hour as the Padres get ready for the Cardinals game at 2. We have thoughts on the officiating last night in Oklahoma City.
How funny is that with Sammy? We're like, shut up.
I'm like, Sammy, I don't want to talk officiating. Because here's the deal. Me and Alan, before every show, we've been doing shows for forever now, 6 weeks.
About, and if you count that in days, about 30 days.
We've been doing shows for forever. Tell me I'm wrong. I think every show we've talked pretty extensively beforehand. Like, we spent 10 or 15 minutes in the morning, even 20 minutes, and then another 30 minutes to an hour later in the day, like around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we spent a good amount of time discussing the show. And we both brought up officiating or what was said post-game, but we both said, let's talk about it on air. I don't want to know your thoughts. Now, I kind of shared some of my thoughts, but Alan didn't share his. So we're going to get into that coming up in about 15 minutes. There is an article today from Jesse Rogers at ESPN about teams and executives acknowledging that they missed on Munetake Murakami, the star slugger for the Chicago White Sox, who we just saw here at Petco Park.
He's banged a home run when we saw him.
He's hit 14 homers in 30-something games. He's driven in 28. His pacing is ridiculous, but I mean, he's going to hit 40 home runs as a 26-year-old in his first year in the major leagues. The argument made was that teams just flat out missed on this guy. He signed a 2-year, $34 million deal with the White Sox. And mentioned in that article was the Padres' interest in Murakami, but the issue the Padres ran into was—
Can I read it?
Yeah, where they were with salary, right?
The San Diego Padres also liked him, but were in a spending freeze for most of the winter, according to league sources. In fact, many teams believed adding Murakami would be buying a DH, according to one National League executive. So there was some, like you mentioned, at that point, there was like, oh, hey, this guy, Padres are interested. Maybe there's mutual interest. Doesn't come to the Padres.
If Jose Feliciano bought this team—
it's interesting. Yeah.
At the end of last year, because they put this team on the block at the end of last year. We found out publicly they were available in October. If the transaction occurred by then, it didn't. But if it had, would Murakami be on the Padres right now? I think it's an easy argument that there's a good scenario he would be.
So the freeze basically means we're trying to sell. We don't want to spend more money. Now they did spend some money, right? They brought Michael King back. I wonder if the equation was, hey, you have X amount of dollars.
Right.
Do you want a pitcher? Or you want a hitter? I mean, clearly Michael King was. I got no issues with Michael King at all.
None.
But the biggest hole of what the Padres have is a player like this.
Right.
And he went for a steal based off of his production.
Yeah.
He's a freaking Japanese stud.
Yeah.
I think would have been unbelievable for the market, would have been just phenomenal to have him obviously representing San Diego Padres gear. And he's balling out compared to some of these other. I mean, by the way, if you just add everybody up, Jackson Merrill, add Manny Machado, and add Tatis, you're not even close to his numbers.
I mean, that trio has combined to hit 8 home runs. Is it three for Merrill and 5 for
3 and 5,
Machado?
maybe 9
Has
at
Merrill
the
hit
most?
4? Yeah,
maybe 9 at the most.
Someone tell me how many home runs.
I'll look it up. But again, it's just the what you just said right there, it's like, is it the timing? Was it just bad timing?
Well, it goes back to, you've made this point a lot in the 6-week history of the show, and I agree with it. The idea, like, if you have $100 to spend, every team has a budget other than a few. A few can go beyond it. LA's one of them. But if the Padres have a budget, you got to make choices. That's how professional sports typically work for most of the clubs. So you got 100 Monopoly dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They used them. And by the way, what they did made sense. Could you reconfigure it and say, well, hold on, I'll take a few of my bucks away from here and put them here? But then would we be saying, man, how could they not re-sign Michael King? Maybe that's not the right example. But maybe then they wouldn't have brought in someone else. I mean, they didn't spend much other money this offseason, did they? A lot of it's on the periphery.
And they spent a little, obviously Giolito there towards the...
True, but it's like if you had now Giolito, how much money was that?
Nothing, 3-4.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, 3-4.
I mean, this is 17 a year. So you got to think it's not a no-brainer, probably.
But let me put it this way. And again, we don't know all the details. Maybe the Padres were trying to get him and he just didn't want to come to San Diego. I don't know what happened.
Right.
Or
they didn't offer 230 for 34.
They didn't offer
for 29.
There you go. But let's put it this way. And again, it's very easy to have this conversation now. But the funny thing is, you could have brought this guy in for multiple reasons. And I do think that he would have been just a great fan draw as well and everything else. Like there's layers to this that I think made a lot of sense. But if he was on the Padres, hypothetically, the void that fills is so massive. That list that we just said, the 6 teams to dethrone the Dodgers, the Padres are on that list.
If you got a 15 home run guy a month into the year.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest issues that the Padres have, other than some of their injuries to their starting rotation, is you have one of the more inconsistent lineups that are out there. By the way, how do you go, you score 14 runs in 6 games, then you put up a 10 spot and a 5 spot followed up by a 1. Like if you told me tonight that the Padres are going to score 1 run or they're going to score 5, I mean, I'm leaning obviously towards 1, but they're so all over. There's zero consistency with their bats.
The Padres, to your point, are 26th in baseball in on-base plus slugging. Murakami, I'm not even saying his name right, but Munataka Murakami. I apologize. What's his OPS? It's
9
over
something,
1,000, right?
No, I think it was like 930.
934.
Yeah.
159 OPS plus. 59% better than the average hitter in the major leagues. Incredible to start his year. That's what you need. I said, what's an area of need? That's what it is. The team is 26th in on-base plus slugging. This is what they need. Unfortunately, right now, they don't have it.
And this is why a lot of people, I think, they look at the Padres and they're like, we got to stop here.
Yeah.
Like they want to maybe put the Padres into that conversation. That's why when they played the Cubs in the wild card series, there was just this pause. There was a pause by, I hate to say it because I don't know how I feel. Maybe because I'm not crazy about some of his takes on things, but Passan, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's fine. The guy's, obviously doing his thing, does phenomenal work. But Jeff Passan, I remember going into the postseason, he's like, you can't have a team that hits this few of home runs be taken seriously in the postseason. Has anything changed with that narrative?
No, and you're right. It's like a prerequisite.
Yeah.
That's the belief right now in baseball. There is a prerequisite. All the sports have it probably. It's like in the NFL, what do they say if your quarterback is below average? Like, well, you can make the playoffs, but are you really going to win a Super Bowl?
Sure.
What do they say in the NBA? Like, what would be a comp? Like, you got to have this to be a true contender right now in the NBA.
You probably have
Star power. Is it depth? Is it shooting?
Yeah, probably depth. Like you got to be able to rely on 6-7 guys on top of whatever your stars are. You got to have guys that play both sides of the ball. Like there's a little bit of that. Like I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a good comp, but
I feel like the NBA actually is a good comp because there's people that say things about teams in the regular season. They're like, that's not going to work in the postseason. And not that it's always accurate.
Even more so in the NBA too.
Right. Like, the Pistons, great regular season record, but wait until you hear this play out. Now, maybe the Pistons aren't a good example this year. They might play for the NBA finals. But I just feel like in baseball right now, there is a general belief that without slug, you are going to run into a wall along the way. And unfortunately, maybe what the Padres are dealing with. The good news is it's May.
Well, here's the issue is more because the guys that are supposed to be your power hitters and are supposed to be carrying the franchise, they're just not doing their job.
Right.
That's it. Right. Like I think for the Padres and maybe the front office may be saying to themselves, yeah. But Tatis is going to, let's just use the offseason as an example. I don't know. Tatis is in a good place. Machado's in a good place. These guys are going to eventually get their numbers. None of these guys have got their numbers this year. Again, early on, but early enough on to where there is concern about these players.
To the point, we'll get into this. They took secret BP yesterday, which I've never heard of. And I'll explain what that is on the other side. Means. Secret batting practice on field. Why am I doing these quotations with my fingers if you're watching?
Marks, brother.
My son does this with everything. I'll be like, I went to school today. I'm like, no, you actually did go there. You don't need the quotations. You actually went.
Dad, can you get me cereal?
Yeah, like why are you doing
That's not how it works.
Ears?
It's not how it works, son.
Secret BP.
Okay.
That's how bad things are right now for Tatis. We'll explain that. Plus, the officiating last night. One of my
favorite things that you've done.
Kevin Acee at 4:30. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer again for my friends at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. I've been telling you for a while about their hotel and spa. You'll love it. You can experience elevated luxury there with their refined hotel stay and rooftop relaxation, their indulgent spa treatments. All the excitement of Jamul Casino Resort seamlessly brought together in one unforgettable destination. And now you can take your stay to the next level. They have exclusive hotel packages crafted for the ultimate escape. You will love their dining options. You really will. Whether it's Jamul 23 with their lobster buffet every day or Tony Gwynn's with the endless dining. But at Jamul 23, you can enjoy all-you-can-eat lobster every day, plus dozens of other delicious stations. Start your morning with their new signature breakfast buffet, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10:30 a.m. They've got meat to order omelets, fresh fruit, sweet and savory favorites. At Tony Gwynn's, you can enjoy San Diego's favorite endless dining experience Wednesday through Sunday at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Make sure to check it all out at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, we've buried a lead. We'll get into the officiating in the Western Conference semifinal, Lakers Thunder. I don't know if anyone's talked about that. The officiating. Has anyone talked about that? I don't know if it's a topic of conversation.
Hasn't been a topic at all.
We are going to be broadcasting live on Monday afternoon. We'd love for you guys to come hang out with us if you're in the area. Naughty Barrel Rancho Penasquitos, 3 to 6 Monday afternoon. We'll be there from 3 to 6 hanging out.
So this will be our first like public remote, right? Because we did the Riverwalk stuff. And the Riverwalk stuff we did for part of Aztec Link was closed. Because you're very snobby like that.
Well,
we did a couple days before our show officially started. We did opening day at Petco.
Correct.
Outside of Petco, we were at Sidebar.
Yeah.
But you had security close off a couple of streets, so nobody can get within a couple of blocks of us.
Correct.
So this event coming up on Monday, Naughty Barrel, you said, right?
Naughty Barrel Rancho Penasquitos.
Yeah. And come out and hang out. We'll be there full show, 3 to 6. And it'd be great to have some FaceTime with some of the listeners. So if you're out in that area, come join us.
Let's hear from JJ Redick. Or we can talk about what played out last night. Thunder won by 18.
Wait, you set up the
Secret BP?
Yeah.
You want to talk Secret BP right now? There's time for Secret BP.
All right, so Secret BP later or now?
You want to do Secret BP?
Secret BP.
Okay. We'll have time. Kevin Acee wrote about this.
Okay.
Oftentimes when players are working on things, they work on it in the cage, so to speak, underneath, inside, in batting tunnels, right? Because when you're on field, it's like, I don't know. It's more, media's out there. Other players are out there. There's people in ballparks, depending on where you are, home or road.
Probably not as focused or as
like you have season ticket holders watching BP, for example.
Fernando.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So oftentimes when players are working on things specifically, well, obviously they're doing it inside. They can watch film inside, and then they can hit in cages, right?
Yeah.
But yesterday, both Tatis and Machado hit outside. And you say, well, why are they doing that? Well, I'll tell you why. What the work they've been doing inside has clearly not necessarily carried over to the games.
Sure.
So there is a belief that, let's simulate it to the best of our ability. You're doing the work outside. So according to Kevin, I think Kevin said the media was not supposed to report on the BP session in terms of what they were working on. Not that the media is hitting coaches, but that's where we are right now. We're both Machado and Tatis are getting extra work in with Steven Souza Jr. They're trying everything inside, outside. And it's Tatis specifically. We can talk about Machado as well. He's hitting 202. But with Tatis, whatever they're working on clearly is not carrying over. Now, he had 2 hits yesterday. He's hitting 250 something. It's not like he can't hit the side of a barn. That's not the case. He still is hitting the ball hard. But the whole loft conversation, the launch angle conversation, dude, we're 37 games in. The early conversation, I think, has kind of left the station. 37 games.
Yeah, we're saying that 10 games in. We're saying that 15 games in, 20 games in. Trip to Colorado and to Mexico City. So obviously that conversation has been going. I'm not sure if I know what to make of it, right? Whatever they need to do to figure out, all good. A secret BP, whatever, all good.
Right.
None of it really. I think at this point for me, you just want to see some results. That's all. And if Tatis, the sooner he can just hit a freaking home run, the better shot that he's got of being the best version of himself. Because I think right now there's probably pressing, there's probably tweaking, there's everything that you can think of. I was driving around today, and I was in OB. I was in Ocean Beach. Okay.
Man, you are everywhere.
I know. But you got to understand something. You could be anywhere in 20 minutes.
Yes, with a vehicle.
Anywhere in 20 minutes. So I'm in OB today. And I'm just literally driving through it. And I'm driving up. And there's I don't even know what building it is, but to the side of the building. And you could tell this is a painting from 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that.
A mural, right?
A mural. There you go. It just says El Nino. It's Tatis.
Makes sense.
But it's the swag Tatis, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Because there's today's version of Tatis, which it just doesn't have the same ring to it. And then there was a version of Tatis 3 years ago where you're yeah, that's a bad man right there. It was that version of Tatis.
Yeah, even
that mural, like,
feels different.
It feels different and it looked different.
Even saying El Nino.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you.
It's almost like there's that alter ego.
Yes.
Like, I don't know movies Brent does. Like, what's Spider-Man when he's not Spider-Man? Or
Peter Parker.
Who? Peter Parker? And what's Superman when he's not Superman?
Clark Kent.
But don't you feel that a little bit with Tatis? Like, right now he's Fernando Tatis Jr. I need the extra human qualities.
Right now he is like you're reading a driver's license. Fernando Tatis Jr.
I need El Nino.
Yeah.
I need Toddy. I need he has a million nicknames. I need all of those to come through. This is what Kevin wrote. Beginning nearly 4 hours before last night's first pitch, and for more than 30 minutes, Tatis and Machado took turns in the batting cage on the field with only hitting coach Steven Souza Jr. nearby. The next sentence, media watching were instructed to not take pictures or video. So that they are working on it. Like, they are going through it. And we'll see if it pays off or not.
By the way, I mean, okay, good. Like, I don't really know what to say or how to react to it other than this is what they should be doing. Obviously, they should be in the middle of it. Brother, tell me this is not a different Tatis.
You're showing me a picture. That's an ad. Yeah. Now your mic's off? Let me see.
I'll find it here.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that's
the El
not
Nino mural. I know that mural. I know where you were. Yeah.
But just like, does that not look like a different person than the person we're watching today?
Yes.
Because this is
way
El
more
Nino.
Humanistic today.
Yes.
Then he was like a star.
Today he's at the DMV.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Like, he's going to the grocery store to kind of go. He has to go to Costco tomorrow. El Nino didn't go to the DMV.
I agree with you, but what is it going to take to go unlock El Nino?
Know. Nobody knows.
I mean, the on-field BP, secret BP.
Nobody knows.
Elevation.
Yep.
Mexico. Yeah, I don't know, man. But at some point, it is. I don't even know what you do at some point, is my point. Like, I don't know. Hey, bat him fifth. Hey, play him at second base. Bat him cleanup. I mean, they've run out of ideas. It's all on Tatis right now and his secret BPs. Let's get into the Lakers and the Thunder.
Let's do it.
And the officiating.
Oh, how
and what
brutal was
JJ
that
Redick
officiating?
had to say.
Disgusting. So disrespectful.
I don't disagree that the officiating was bad, but I have a point to make about it.
I mean, you want to talk about rigged.
Stop.
I haven't seen anything that rigged.
Ever. We'll get to the wrap. Kevin Acee will join us at 4:30. We will give away in the 4 o'clock hour a pair of tickets to see Pink next Friday night, Petco Park. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com.
The NBA doesn't want the Lakers to move on.
That must be what it is.
They're not box office. They don't get ratings. The brand's not big enough.
The wrap and JJ Redick's thoughts on the officiating of LeBron and the Lakers in this series all ahead.
I've been waiting for your...
Yeah. Oh, I got some thoughts on it.
All right.
Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Padres and Cardinals are getting set for game 2 of their series tonight down at Petco Park. It's going to be Michael McGreevy going for St. Louis and Griffin Cannon going for the Padres. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 because they are on Apple TV. In NFL news, the Jets gave running back Breece Hall a 3-year, $45 million extension. His average per year now ranks 3rd among all running backs in the NFL. He's only behind Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. And coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll have the tip off of Knicks 76ers. Knicks said that they will not have OG Anunoby today due to a hamstring injury. And then coming up at 6:30, we got Spurs at Timberwolves. Tomorrow night on San Diego Sports 760, we got SDFC going on the road to take on Seattle. Our pre-match coverage with Adrian and Darren will begin at 7 o'clock. Let your yard show out with new deals from Lowe's. Grab select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets, 2 for just $15, plus Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic feet garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Valid through 5/13. Selection varies by location and excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Schaefer and Sliwa, where Kevin Acee will join us in 28 minutes at 4:30. Padres Cardinals game 2 tonight from Petco at 6:40. We'll hear from JJ Redick coming up. He had thoughts on the officiating last night as the Lakers lose game 2 in Oklahoma City. Game 3 coming up tomorrow. You'll be there.
We'll be there tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
What time did you get into Oklahoma?
I got into Oklahoma. Took a red eye.
Well, that's a mistake because they're playing in LA tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'm going to Oklahoma to get the pulse
To watch
of
the game.
OKC.
Go to a bar.
Want to get the pulse of OKC when I'm out there.
Have you been to Oklahoma City in your life?
I have been.
Me too.
I've been to a game.
Been to a game? Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I think we might have talked about this.
It's a good vibe.
It is. I think it's actually a pretty underrated town.
Mm-hmm.
Clean, nice.
Yeah, they got a nice arena.
They're building a new one.
This
thing's getting. I think they're building a new one, aren't they?
Are they?
Are they?
It didn't seem like it was that. It didn't seem like it was that new.
The
Vegas own
Thunders
it
with construction beginning in March 2026. It'll open in the summer of 2028. $900 million city-owned downtown arena, Paycom Center.
Good for them.
Yeah, I know. With all their success.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
No, not San Diego. No, they're not. All right, Kevin Acee at 4:30 right now. Let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Do you circle NFL schedule release day?
Is that a big day for you?
Oh man, back in the day, it was. It really was. I used to love that day. By the way, NFL is kind of the only one. Like, let's use the NBA as an example. NBA, you could say, okay, who they playing opening night? Who's your squad playing on Christmas? After that, it's like, yeah, they're playing all the teams. It's all the
like
same.
Baseball.
There's nothing really all that. The only thing I look at with baseball, it's like Yankees, if you want to look at when they're playing the Dodgers, if there's when's the series at Wrigley Field? Like, there's a couple of those. NFL, I no longer do, but I used to, and I used to love it before. But now I'm just a hurt hater.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. Here's the thing with NFL schedule release day: the fact that they can make this massive. Everyone already knows the opponents for every NFL team. It's already been announced. We're just releasing the order in which the teams are playing.
First game of the year.
Yeah, you already know home road, all this.
Yep.
This day it's May 14th, by the way, so next Thursday. But this is the day where like the Chargers make their mark because their social media team will have like some funny video about their opponents and everyone like loses their mind. That's what this day is now known for.
And they'll still not win anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's known for. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I don't circle NFL schedule release day, but some people do.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Do you think the NBA is making a mistake by having the draft lottery on Sunday afternoon?
Yes. I got to be honest with you. This one flew too far under the radar. Why? The draft lottery is kind of a popular thing. I think you got to put it on. The way I would do it is, especially right now, in this round, you have 2 games going on anyways. And typically it's like a 4 p.m. and you got a 6:30. Slot that bad boy in right in the middle. Between the games. So get the first game done and then make kind of a big hoopla about the lottery coming and then get the second game started. But I still think you need to do that on a weekday. One of these Thursday nights or Tuesday nights or something like that. I feel like this one wasn't promoted as well.
Well, hold on. Are there less people watching Sunday afternoon than were watching last night? Sunday's a good day.
I think it's getting lost.
Is it getting lost?
I feel like it's getting lost in the shuffle.
Just because it's the weekend.
Let's put it this way. Did you know? Like, I found out this morning, I'm like, oh yeah, the lottery draft is coming up. Where I feel like in previous years, there was some runway here and there was some hype behind it.
Normally, I would find out because I'd be like, oh, it's the lottery. It would just be like on the television, and I'm like, oh, they're doing the lottery tonight. I like it during the week because we could talk about it.
But the lottery is a big It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Like, it's a franchise-changing moment.
Could be.
I always look at it like this. In the news cycle, if they want a story to not get picked up, they dump it on like a Friday because it gets buried and lost through the weekend. So I just feel like if it just pops up Sunday afternoon at noon, that it's just going to get lost.
I'll be watching because I like lotteries.
Yeah, no, those are good. I'm with you on that.
Next question.
How many home runs, plural, will Tatis hit this month?
What are we at? May 8th? Man, I'm Mr. Optimistic. He's got 3 this month coming.
3?
Cash him in. He's got 3 coming.
Over the wall? All of them as opposed to inside the park?
Okay, both of you.
3.
Yes, he's got 3 coming. Here's why he's got 3 coming. He's going to get 1 in the next week, and then he's going to get a little bit of momentum, and then he'll get a couple on top of that. 3 coming this.
I hope. I'm going to agree with you. If he doesn't hit 3, then I don't know what I'll be saying.
Wait.
It's not about hitting 1. We don't want him to hit 1 all year.
Here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to have your antics, the antics that you had leading up to my answer, and then follow that up with I agree with you.
I agree with you.
Give me a different Give me a different number.
16, and here's why. No, I do think he'll hit multiple home runs. Inevitably, every player in baseball will.
Okay.
You disagree?
3. I already gave
Fine,
you
I'll say 2. 2 home runs for Tatis between now and how many days are in May? 31? That's a lot of days.
37, actually.
That's a lot of days.
May's picking up some. They're picking up some steam here.
I say 2.
Okay.
I say 2. Next question.
What did you think of the officiating in last night's Lakers Thunder game?
I'm glad he asked.
Are we?
I want to hear. Yeah, let's hear.
Are we doing it?
Let's go.
But can I have you go first? You go first on the officiating.
Can we hear from JJ Redick?
Yeah,
because I want to react to what he said.
Yep.
JJ Redick last night. Lakers lose by 18. Officiating certainly was discussed both ways. Probably. I mean, there were a lot of stoppages. Watching this game, like, what's happening here? But this was JJ Redick afterwards, specifically regarding LeBron.
LeBron has, I think, taken 5 free throws here in 2 games. What have you? I mean, have you seen him be like attacking and downhill? And are you surprised he hasn't been able to get to the line more?
Well, he gets clobbered on that one. With Jalen Williams coming over trying to block the shot when he spun baseline. That was in that stretch as well. LeBron has the worst whistle of any star player I've ever seen. I mean, I've been with him 2 years now. There's, again, the smaller guys, because they can be theatric, they typically draw more fouls, and the bigger players that are, built like LeBron, it's hard for them. But he gets clobbered, and he got clobbered again tonight a bunch. But that's not like a new thing. That's not specific to this crew or this series. He gets fouled a lot. That doesn't happen. I mean, guy gets hit on the head more than any player I've seen on drives, and it rarely gets called.
This, by the way, also follows. You saw obviously the Lakers team with the officials on their way off the
end
floor.
of the game. Yeah,
as the Lakers lose by 18 last night, 125.
I was like, are they going to jump him? What's happening
I know.
Here?
As they lose by 18,
they're circling this guy.
Here's what I would just say. This general idea.
If you're a ref, can you give each one of those guys a technical foul
heading
on
into
your way out the door?
They should.
Yeah.
No. But like this general idea that the officiating has been so bad to the point where the Lakers are the entire team is around the officials at the end of game 2, as if the officials, here's the perception for me. Here's the look. The officials are the reason why the Lakers are down 0-2.
Clearly.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
How do you explain that?
I explain it by the Thunder being the more talented, deeper, well-rounded team.
With 8 players on the floor.
Yeah, because of the officials. No, and I even think, honestly, JJ Redick to say that. Now, he was asked the question about LeBron. Shea, by the way, has 12 free throw attempts in 2 games, okay? They clearly are letting these teams play more than they would in the regular season. But just this idea that LeBron gets a bad whistle, save that for me. That's a whole nother conversation. But this idea that the Lakers are trailing in the series because of the officiating is utterly insane to me. Insane. LeBron gets that call that JJ Redick's talking about, they lose. LeBron gets another call last night, they lose. Shea doesn't get a call he got, Thunder win. It doesn't come down to that. I'm told this, that the Aztecs lost a game this year by 1 at Grand Canyon. Oh, they should have hit their free throws. It was in their control. Shouldn't let it come down to a final possession. This game was over with 6 minutes left. The game was done. LeBron checks out with 3 minutes left. This thing was done.
Feel better?
Way better. Agreed or disagree?
You fell into a trap. You fell into I said this yesterday right after the game ended. Do my post-game show for those who, want to hear some NBA Laker reaction, hoops talk with Alan Sliwa. And you fell into a trap. The game was over. You're right. And there was nothing that the Lakers can do that can help them for game 2. But I think that you've seen this before from coaches, and it's not uncommon to try to create a narrative for game 3.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what the goal was yesterday. Oklahoma City Thunder are better than the Lakers. You can have Shea sit for 10, 11 minutes of the third quarter.
Yes, he did.
And they still outscore the Lakers by 14, right?
Yep.
You can have guys like A.J. Mitchell, Jared McCain, Chet Holmgren. Go down the list. It's like all these other guys are like, cool, so do we get to play now? Do we get to step up? And they did. The Oklahoma City Thunder are up 2-0 is because they have a deeper team. They have a deeper bench. They're just a better roster. That's why they're up 2-0. But don't think that there isn't some type of strategy here, whether that was on purpose or it wasn't. The JJ Redick, the making a big deal about LeBron James, saying that Shea gets this foul and that foul. They're grabbing us all day long. That's strategy, I think, for game 3.
But can I follow up that point by this counterpoint?
Yeah.
And I hated it when Dave Roberts did it with the Padres.
Yep.
I hated it.
Yeah.
And it worked, to his credit, the sinister sling.
I thought about that too.
And, I don't, and honestly, I hope it's like, what's the saying from Herm Edwards? Like that is, it's actually, it doesn't even apply, but I hope the NBA doesn't fall for the trap, or fall for the narrative.
They have in the past. That's happened before.
I know, but it's like, the truth is, even the most ardent Laker fan, if you ask them as they put their head on the pillow at the end of the night, they know they were outplayed by a better team. I've watched the entirety of both the games, including game 2. I give the Lakers credit. They played well for long stretches of the game. They led by a point.
You just have to play perfect against the Thunder, and they can't do that.
There was no path. It wasn't, man, if not for this call. It just didn't exist last night.
Let me give you, I do think the refs did not have a good day yesterday.
They didn't. It was poorly officiated in general.
And I do think Braun got fouled on a couple of possessions that he should have got foul calls for. And I do think LeBron, because of his size, his just sheer size, there's sometimes, I think JJ was explaining this, that you're going to have smaller defenders on him. It's like back in the day, Shaq. Shaq was getting fouled every single possession.
But they
just
can't call
foul. Can't call foul every possession. So I don't think the refs were great. I thought, and I'm a Shea fan. I hated Shea's play on Austin Reeves with that arm lock, whatever that was. That's dangerous.
They called it.
They did call it, but it's still it's a dangerous play. You're right. They did call it, and it was a flagrant one. So he got whatever he deserved. But I think there's some chess here. And I think part of the strategy, the series is going back to LA.
Yep.
You now have a narrative that's been created The narrative is the Thunder are getting all the calls. They're fouling and nobody's calling it. And you're going to walk into crypto.com arena tomorrow. Don't tell me that's not in a referee's head. Don't tell me that's not in the league's head. You're right. Maybe they don't fall for it. There's two things that could happen tomorrow. I'll give you both scenarios.
The Lakers could win or lose.
There's a scenario tomorrow that this plays to the Lakers' advantage.
Or to their disadvantage.
No, let me... it could play to the Lakers' advantage, and maybe there's a little bit more of a whistle, and maybe the crowd is a little bit rowdier tomorrow because they feel like they got screwed. A lot of Laker fans are like, I can't believe this happened, all that stuff. I agree with you. Thunder are better. That's it. Here's another narrative that can happen, and this goes back to the Dave Roberts thing that you were talking about with the Padres. The Thunder can also come out tomorrow and say, you think we're winning because of fouls? We are going to punk your ass on your home floor. That can happen tomorrow, too. You want to know why? Because the Thunder are the defending NBA champions. What didn't happen in that play, again, this is a stretch here, but we're given that idea. Machado throwing the ball and it goes, and I don't even know how you felt about that situation. I thought it was dumb, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm Machado. I don't know why you're throwing the ball in that direction anyways. But if the Padres were hypothetically this team where you can't get in their head, then maybe they just closed the door on the Dodgers and it's like, that's a wrap. We've got into the Dodgers' head. It didn't work out that way for the Padres. So technically, whatever shenanigans Dave Roberts did maybe worked to their advantage. The Thunder tomorrow could say, we're the freaking defending champs, not you.
Yeah, I don't like the gamesmanship. Don't fall for the trap, JJ Redick. When you're asked about the officiating, you know what you should say? We didn't play well enough to win.
But he did. And you didn't hear the whole clip because he also went out of his way and said, we did not lose this game because of the officiating. But that's after he went on a 2-minute rant about the officials.
What gets the headlines? What gets the Instagram view? I mean, it's that part of it. We'll get your calls on it. 877-767-4760. Kevin Acee will join us at 4:30, coming up in about 15 minutes. Stay with us, Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Kevin Acee is joining us in 9 minutes. We can go to the phones here. 877-767-4760. Schaefer and Sliwa on this Friday afternoon. We're talking SDFC, by the way, at 5:30 as well. Danny Higginbotham will join us from Apple TV at 5:30. But let's go to Eric on line one. Eric, you're on with Schaefer and Sliwa. Thanks for calling in, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, listening in on the topic of NBA officiating.
Yeah.
And this goes across the board. All kinds of officiating, and the narrative sounds like the teams are making excuses. As to why they lost, whether it be baseball, football, in this case, the NBA playoffs. And I think it's because the only team we hear it from is the team that loses, right? But at the end of the day, if it's bad officiating, that's just what it is. It seems like these teams that are complaining about it are wanting to pinpoint as the reason to losing the game, and I don't see that at all. A bad officiating game is a bad officiated game, guys. Thank you for taking the call.
Appreciate it, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you agree, Alan, that the game in general was it so lopsided, the officiating, or was it just bad officiating?
I would tell you if it was a 2-point game, 3-point game, then you can make an argument like, hey, there was one or two calls that affected, but you can't. Here's what you can't have. You can't complain to the refs and you lost by 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like.
So I think that's the issue. Listen, I'll go back to what I said a little bit earlier. Clearly, the Lakers they're grasping. Anything they can get a hold of, they're going to try. I don't actually even think the series is over. I don't think they're going to win the series, but I think they got a legitimate chance to win game 3. And that's tomorrow.
Yep.
If you're a team that's losing and you're kind of, the inevitable is about to happen, you're going to naturally complain. Things are going to be amplified in your own head because things aren't going your way. The Oklahoma City Thunder are not going to win by 18, and Mark Dagnott, the coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, is going to come out and say, the refereeing is awful. We're not getting any calls. Shea's not going to come out and say, they're grabbing my jersey, this. You want to know why? Because they won by 18. The Lakers, on the other hand, it's like I said, they're grasping. I do think part of this, I think JJ believes what he said yesterday, but I think there's a little bit of, I used to see Phil Jackson do this. There's a little bit of, let me see if I can create this narrative and maybe we can get some of these calls on Saturday, because the Lakers need absolutely everything that they can get.
Yeah, well,
right or wrong, I
thought it would be. I still think it'll be. I don't think it'll be a sweep because I think home court matters in the NBA. And yeah, if they're going to win a game, I think game 3 makes sense for the game that they're going to get. But with all that being said, Vegas doesn't buy into this whole it's officiating. I mean, Oklahoma City is an 8.5-point favorite in game 3. They were a 15.5-point favorite
for the first 2 games.
They were a 15.5-point favorite in game 1.
What are they tomorrow?
8.5-point favorite in game 3. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in game 3. Will we have the same conversation after game 3 if the Lakers lose? The officials. Man.
No, listen, clearly, I think this is in my opinion, one of the best things that can happen to the Lakers is you get to play against what it will take to win a championship. There's a good distance away from how the Lakers win a championship, and at least they can walk into the offseason with this.
Hey, this is what we got to do.
That's what it looks like.
No doubt. All right, Kevin Acee is going to join us as the Padres get ready for the Cardinals here tonight, a game televised on Apple TV. Kevin Acee will join us on the other side. Padres trying to rebound off the loss last night, 2-1. Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider, joining us next. We have pink tickets to give away. We'll do that this hour as well here on Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The Padres and Cardinals are getting set for game 2 of their series tonight down at Petco Park. It's going to be Michael McGreevy going against Griffin Canning. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 because they are on Apple TV this evening. In NFL news, running back Breece Hall got a 3-year, $45 million extension from the Jets today. His average per year now ranks 3rd among all running backs in the NFL. He's only behind Saquon and Christian McCaffrey. In NBA news, we got Sixers and Knicks going on right now. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Philadelphia is up 25-18. The Knicks are without OG Anunoby on this one, and Joel Embiid is in the game for the Sixers. And then at 6:30, we got San Antonio at Minnesota. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You'll always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
All right, let's catch up with Kevin Acee as the Padres get ready for game 2 of their series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760. Kevin, I saw you wrote about this, I think, in your Padres Daily today, about the plan going in with Michael King was essentially what he did yesterday, which was to go 6 innings, and that was planned ahead of time. Is that because of the, it's, lose a battle, win a war, so to speak? It's a long year. He didn't throw a ton of innings last year because of his health, the situation that played out. And they're thinking about this through that lens of hey, we need this guy 3, 4, 5 months from now. And even though he was going as well as he was yesterday, 6 innings, 1 hit, 85 pitches, they're thinking about tomorrow as well, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. He probably even made it an inning longer. I mean, if you think about it, he was pretty efficient. So he might have been out after 5, and then we really would have been screaming. So, look, it's what they've done all along. It's what they said with Michael. They did it with, to a certain extent, Seth Lugo. They did it with Michael in 2024. It happened last night, and it was man, he was cruising. And then what happened in the 7th inning? And I think what's fascinating about the whole discussion about yesterday is that all this stuff happened in 2 minutes. Michael King was taken out. Bradley Rodriguez comes in. The 2 hits, a double that barely is fair, a triple that falls in front of the right fielder who was Nick Castellanos and not Fernando Tatis Jr. And all this stuff about this game happened in 2 minutes, and all of it sort of played off each other. And we're completely not overlooking, because we would never do that because it's right so in our face, that the offense sucks. And that's not to say that these aren't legitimate conversations, but it's no, specifically to Michael King, this is what they feel they owe themselves and him. And it might have not even have been an issue, but it was because of how the game went.
Kevin, it's interesting because we look at this. John and I were talking about this earlier, and you're saying to yourself, I love that the way the Padres are doing things right now. They're thinking about the marathon, not the sprint. And then I find myself saying, yeah, but don't you want to bring Michael King in the 7th and at least let him go up against the first batter? He's only got 85, 86 pitches in. God, these games are so important. It's so funny, just kind of the emotions. And when things work out the right way, you're they're all geniuses. And when it doesn't, you're asking, well, how can they make that decision? I guess the question here is there any cushion in what the variable is based off of the situation of the game, that he is cruising, that it feels like St. Louis just had no feel on him? How much can they lean one way or the other based off of it? Or it's no, this thing is written in pen.
Well, there is variation, but the problem with that is because that's completely valid, man. It's yes, and it's valid, and I love your point about how if they win 2-1, it's we're barely talking about it. Maybe it's one segment, maybe we don't talk about it here, or whatever. I don't know. What happens next time when he's cruising against the Mariners on Tuesday and man, we just leave him in here. All of a sudden, this guy's at 60 innings, 11 starts in, And you're going, okay, now we got to come up with, I mean, hey, Michael, is your shin hurting? Because we got to put you on the IL for 2 weeks because we just can't have you on a 200 inning pace. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, they have to, on May, was it 7th yesterday? Mm-hmm. They have to say it's early enough. There's more cushion. They want to do this so that there's cushion later. That's it. Now, I also, and I think I've written about it. I'm sure you've talked about it. Guys gotta get to September and be in position for Michael King to matter at, being healthy and at his best to matter then. Well, I mean, they are still 7 games up now after last night's loss, right? They're 7 games over 500. They're, I mean, all in all, it's like, no, I absolutely get this decision. And if it were my place to support it, I would give it my stamp of approval. I also understand talking about it. So, I just think that this is what they've done. And once you say you're going to do that, that's what you do.
At the end of the day, to your point, they had 4 hits yesterday. Mm-hmm. Kevin Acee is our Padres Insider. They scored 1 run. It was on the most ridiculous swing you've ever seen. You're going to take it, but that's how they scored their 1 run. Now, you wrote about this a little bit today. Machado and Tatis hitting with Steven Souza Jr. on field. The media not asked to really report on it or take video on it. They've clearly tried everything. The funny thing with Tatis is, like, he has 2 hits yesterday. He's hitting 250 something. It's not like he can't hit the broadside of a barn. Where are we in this saga? Machado's hitting 202. He's hitless forever, it seems like. And Tatis, for whatever reason, cannot hit the ball in the air consistently. They've tried everything clearly. Like, what's the next thing they can try?
I think just doing what they're doing and not hoping, because that implies, like, that's all. They're working on this. Like, a little bit of it is just like, let's just keep going because this is impossible. If we have racked our brains about this, we have worked on everything. I'm not a hitting coach. I'm trying to talk to people about this and get a little bit of an understanding. I mean, the timing situation, meaning that he's striking the ball too early. That's why he's rolling over a lot. And that he just needs to get that right. And yes, the tinkering, maybe should have tinkered on some stuff. It's insane. And I realize that everybody has a solution for this. But, like, there's a reason that it's so perplexing. It's because it's just so rare. And again, he is now, listen, he, for whatever reasons, the last week, he hasn't been hitting the ball so hard. Last night, that drive to left center was probably his best hit in a week and a half. Like, not that. So was that because they went out and worked? I have no idea. And sometimes you work on these things and it's 2 or 3 days later that, after being in the cage for a couple of days, that things click. But that was pretty intense yesterday. And not to say that that's the first time they've done it. That's the first time they've done it out on the field. And it really was something to watch and kind of cool. And, we knew he was working, but I just thought that was cool to see.
Kevin Acee joining us, Schaefer and Sliwa Show. Kevin, John and I predicted 3 home runs for the rest of the month for Tatis. We don't know how it's getting there, but we're very optimistic, and we're not sure where that optimism is coming from. But we'll take that. There's an article. I'm curious to get your opinion on this. ESPN had an article earlier today. 6 teams that can take down the Dodgers, and the Padres were not on that list. You surprised by that?
Yes. Was there even a mention of why they're off the list? Were the Diamondbacks on there? Was there another West team? Was it like AL and NL? Like, were they talking about World Series? What's the context?
It's every squad. Doesn't matter AL or NL. And the only mention about the Padres is they said, and surprisingly, nobody on our panel took the San Diego Padres, who have kept pace with the Dodgers in the NL West. So 6 teams, yes, and they're throwing it on both sides, the AL and the NL.
I got respect for it. They must have a reason. I would have put in why I had the reason, since they're the team that's a game behind them. They could have been tied with them. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
So, respect, but you got to tell me why, because, now look, we all kind of probably inherently know why, right? Like, we're not believing in the starting pitching. We're wondering about the offense. I mean, we kind of know why, but I'm just looking at it as like a journalist. I have absolute respect for the Padres not being on there, but you got to tell me why. I don't know what you guys think, but like, if you're asking me why, I think I've just said it. We got problems here.
This is the problem with Les. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that's the problem with Les. I mean, what does it really mean?
But it's interesting talker, man. Like, wow, maybe that's why they did it. But again, you got to tell me why you did it when you laid off the team that is right now. I don't know. There's the fourth best record in the NL, and I'm not sure what like the whole tiebreaker, but I'm assuming that means they'd have a home wild card series. Look, I realize it's May 8th. Believe me, I don't even know I barely know what the standings are this time of year, but like, I'm just saying, like, that's really interesting. I ain't mad because it's not my job to get mad, and I don't think Padres fans should be mad, but wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, Kevin, and I think, like you said, obviously, I think we have probably as good a context as anybody because we're watching the Padres every night. But just to give you an example, and maybe some of this also has to do with, do you have confidence in San Diego against the Dodgers? The Phillies are on this list. Now, we know what their record is. We know they just fired their manager, but are they looking at the Phillies and saying, all right, if they're going mano to mano, there's certain, maybe they got more confidence in some of the players with the Phillies, but, just to give you an idea, that would be one team that's on that list.
Yeah, I figured that there had to be a surprise National League team, right? I mean, Braves, Cubs, Phillies, Yankees, blah, blah, blah. Who else? I know
you don't want the real surprise. There's a real one there.
Yeah, the real surprise is Pittsburgh. That's my problem with lists. Like, it's like you create them just to like the shock factor. Look, we put the Pirates on the list.
When a list is, I'm not going to say, when a list got a little too provocative? When a talk radio guy is slamming it for coming up with some arbitrary.
There you go. That's exactly right. Real quick, final one for me, Kevin, is on Griffin Canning, who starts tonight for the Padres. Obviously pitched very well in his first start of the year. With Canning, what's the decision they have to make when it comes to when do they need to make the decision on Giolito, and who's going to be the odd man out?
At this point, it feels like it's Matt Waldron. They say no decision's been made, but people that I've talked to acknowledge Matt's pitching for his job basically. But I mean, there's a time that Walker Buehler was too. I don't know that that's the case now. Walker Buehler, and it's May 16th, and I don't think, from my understanding, as long as this next start goes well, they're going to go that long. He could be starting for them on May 16th. I can't remember. I haven't lined it up as a May 16th or 17th that it would then be his turn. But it's not like they're going to, at this point, the plan is not for him to have two more starts. I don't know what we're calling them, warm-up starts. So it's not a rehab start. But as he has built up his spring training, Giolito spring training start, so we could be seeing him in, is that Seattle? We could be seeing him in Seattle for one of those weekend starts, I guess.
All right. Well, game 2 of this series is tonight. Padres and Cardinals. We'll catch up with Kevin next week, and we appreciate you doing it as always. Thanks, Kevin.
Is it Friday already?
I know.
Already Friday.
I know.
Yeah, next
already.
week.
It's
all
Friday.
right. We'll see you.
All right.
Kevin sounded like you want to come on tomorrow. You want to do 3 to 6 tomorrow?
I'm not opposed to him coming on tomorrow. It wouldn't be with us.
You're not,
he can go on with whoever is on Fox Sports Radio tomorrow afternoon.
Call us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can just talk. Okay, on the other side, we're going to give away tickets to see Pink next Friday night at Petco Park. How about this? Yu Darvish just tweeted about his recovery.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And we'll share with you what he had to say on the other side. Plus, we're going to get to our brand new feature, What's New, coming up. Here until 6 p.m. This is Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760. We're live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we're giving away pink tickets, and that we'll do in the next 10 minutes. What do you have to tell our listeners real quick?
San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to donate to a classroom project, and your donation will be matched by Donors Choose. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future now. Just go to the website, iHeartRadio.com/teachers, iHeartRadio.com/teachers. We mentioned a little bit earlier, and Frank here on YouTube. Frank, I encourage you to come. Frank puts out a message to us. My business is close to Rancho Bernardo, sort of.
Yeah.
That place is 20 minutes away. I could hang and watch you guys do a show.
Please.
So you were just promoting a little bit earlier. We're going to be out from 3 to 6 at Naughty Barrel in Rancho Penasquitas. And that's coming up this Monday. So the address there, 13211 Black Mountain Road, Rancho Penasquitas. So if you're out in that area, you want to come cruise by, we're going to be broadcasting outside. Really cool place, Naughty Barrel. We'll be there from 3 to 6. Come hang out with us.
Say it for me again.
Rancho Penasquitas.
Not Penasquitos.
It could be probably Penasquitos. I've always said Rancho Penasquitos.
I like it.
Or Penasquitos.
The way you say it sounds like that's how it should be said.
Yeah.
Well, go to Naughty Barrel there. Monday,
Go to Naughty
3
Barrel
to
there.
6.
Yep.
We'll be broadcasting. We'd love for you to swing by and say hi. We'll get
You're
to
gonna
what's
do.
new.
I think they have a challenge. You do like a 4x4, right? You're doing You're doing four patties,
vegan burgers, 4 NA kombuchas,
black beans and quinoa on them.
4 black beans, 4 quinoa burgers.
Yep.
I'm going to do all of it. We're going to give away pink tickets in about 5 minutes. We'll get to what's new in a moment about Alan's experience today at the gym. Did want to share this from you, Darvish. He has tweeted. Now, remember, he had Tommy John, right? He had UCL surgery. He's 39 or 40 years of age. He just tweeted in Japanese. It's been translated, though, on X.
Mm-hmm.
And he writes, it's been about 6 months since my surgery, and I've started playing catch. And there's video of Darvish at Petco on this gorgeous Friday afternoon throwing and playing catch on field at Petco Park. There was a general belief, we could ask Kevin about this if I saw it in time. There was a general belief that Yu Darvish was retiring before returning to Major League Baseball. Is anything changing? Because remember, Darvish has been non-committal. He hasn't retired.
Yep.
He has said, let me see how my recovery goes. And right now it looks like he's in the midst of his recovery.
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it, right? Because it's such a surprise and a shock. I mean, listen, if you told me that Yu Darvish would be healthy down the road and in some capacity can help the San Diego Padres.
2027.
But I just don't know what the dynamics are. You're right. This is kind of one that throws us off a little bit. So I obviously everybody's got a ton of respect for what Yu Darvish has done in his career and what he's done for the Padres. But yeah, this one definitely a curveball. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Darvish has had his moments in a Padres uniform. Nobody's. I thought they were going to get the salary relief. I thought that was going to be the true benefit here from Darvish. I still don't forecast Yu Darvish pitching again for the San Diego Padres.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm off base, but it would be surprising to me. All right. Do we have the What's New feature?
Wait, real quick before you do that. Did you read the second part of the tweet? Did you read that
in Japanese?
No. When he says, when I was put on the restricted list, did you read that portion?
Where's that?
All right. So, and I'm just seeing this right now. I didn't see it either. So here's what I'm seeing here. When I was put on the restricted list in 2024, it wasn't allowed, but this time rehab is included. So permission has been granted.
Okay. What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I didn't see that. He wrote that?
Yeah. I think somebody had responded and then I think he responded to that.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. We'll watch how this plays out over the coming months, I guess. All right, let's get to it. All right.
This isn't mine. This is technically yours.
So this morning, Alan texted me. I said, did I call you at 9:30?
No, you said you were. No, I texted you initially. I said, hey, can I call you at 10:30?
And I'm like, this is unbelievable because normally we've been talking at 9:30, but I said, sure.
Yeah, it was unnecessary for me to throw it out an hour.
No, so you said 10:30.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I'm in my car and boom, you call.
Yeah, and I was like, why
It's
not
like
just call him?
9:45.
Yeah, let me just call him.
So this is what I found interesting because we're still learning each other's personalities.
Yep.
You called me from the gym.
I was at the gym.
And you weren't like at the gym, like walking in or changing.
I know.
You were on the gym floor.
I was working out. Yeah.
You were working out. My wife would say you can't work out and talk to someone.
Yeah, and I'm with your wife.
Okay.
Like that's not a regular thing. Now I have my AirPods on typically, but we listen to a podcast.
Right. Not talking to me.
Not talking to
me.
Not talking to anybody.
But I said, what are you lifting? 3 plates? And I kid you not, he was lifting, what's it called? The leg press?
Yeah, I think
I've never done it.
Yeah, it was leg press.
What's the thing? You push your legs out or whatever?
Yeah, leg press.
I don't do legs.
It's not like a deadlift. Yeah, it's a leg press. Yeah.
And you sent me a picture. You're like, dude, wait until you see this picture. You sent me a picture.
Yeah.
There were exactly 3 plates of weight on both sides, which is what, 300 and something pounds?
I don't know what it is weight wise, but here's the thing. I'm short. I'm a little stocky.
How are you lifting 300 something pounds?
Relax. Let's slow down here for a second.
It's incredible.
That's not actually like for people who do legs. That's not like a crazy amount.
That's
not
like
a crazy
Saquon Barkley. Yeah, I don't think Saquon Barkley does that.
Overreacting.
I've never seen
so much. Okay.
It's incredible.
And the only reason why this is even a conversation, first off, we should still have a conversation about me actually talking on the phone at the gym. Because I do think I broke a couple of rules. Okay.
But do people look at you?
Well, here's the thing. Could you tell my style? How quiet was I?
You're quiet.
I was very like you and I were having a good conversation. We were getting through our topics. We were efficient and everything else. But the only thing is, like, I was super aware of my surroundings. I hate to be the guy trying to get attention. There was a guy that was like circling me. I don't know if you can hear him.
I heard someone.
This guy was straight up, like, not just on a yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
It was not like a conference call.
I don't know what he was doing. I kept looking at him, like trying to give him the eye contact. Like, brother, you want to be on a call? Be on a call.
Yeah.
Let's lower it down.
The guy on a call is telling the guy on a call how to act on a call.
There's rules here.
There's gym. Here's the thing. Like, you can't go into Orange Theory with AirPods. And
I know.
Now it's also very loud because they play music.
Okay, wait, but let me just go back to it. If you were at the gym today and you were next to me, you might know that I was on the phone, but I was not distracting or like I was not taking anything away from you. The other guy, I don't know, this guy working for Wall Street.
Right.
It was like an auction or something. I had 35. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Well, what do you think is more permissible? To just be very respectful on a call in the gym on the floor, or filming content? It's very common now. I see gym content constantly.
Wait. What do you mean? What's more permissible? This isn't even close.
But people are doing content all the time. It seems reasonable.
No, I don't think that's reasonable.
Really?
I don't think you should be doing content while you're getting a workout.
Have you considered doing Hoops Talk with Alan Sliwa, like from like wall bench?
I should do a member show. I should do a member show.
Yeah,
I should do a member show.
Putting up that weight.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe, but the moral of the story is Alan is lifting thousands of pounds or whatever. I mean, it's an amazing amount of weight. You're talking to me.
The combine is coming up. I mean, we gotta. Here's my issue.
Pounds.
No, here's my issue right now. My biggest issue. I won't stop eating. I'm eating so bad lately.
Yeah, because you're lifting so much. Stop lifting.
Right. That's why. Because you know what they say, when you start lifting, you should definitely have a cinnamon roll on one day.
Stop working
Follow
out.
that up with, bro, I'm eating terrible lately.
That's because you work like a dog too.
No, I'm being. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of like
the lack of sleep.
The whole thing is just off.
Do you want to go see Pink next Friday night?
No, I want our listeners to get a chance to go see Pink.
Perfect. Caller 8. You are going next Friday night to Petco Park to see Pink. 877-767-4760. Call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see Pink next Friday night at Petco Park. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. An amazing giveaway for caller 8 to 877-767-4760. Call right now.
I got to leave at 5:15. I got a gym session.
No.
I got squats. No,
you already did that today.
All right,
it's already been a leg day.
I'm done.
We'll hear from Craig Stammen coming up. We're talking SDFC at 5:30 here until 6. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The Padres are getting set for game 2 of their series against St. Louis tonight down at Petco Park. It's going to be Michael McGreevy going for the Cardinals and Griffin Canning going for the Padres. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 because the game is on Apple TV. In NFL news, the Jets gave running back Breece Hall a 3-year, $45 million extension. The average per year now ranks 3rd among all running backs in the NFL. He's only behind Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. We got more second round action in the NBA playoffs right now with about 5 minutes to go in the first half. It is 44-40. The Knicks are up over the 76ers. Then coming up at 6:30 tonight, we got Spurs at Minnesota. Tomorrow night on San Diego Sports 760, San Diego FC will travel on the road to Seattle to take on the Sounders. Our pre-match coverage with Adrian and Darren will begin at 7 o'clock. For victims of drunk and drugged driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You'll always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
All right, final hour today. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. Danny Higginbotham, Apple TV, will join us. Get us ready for SDFC in Seattle coming up this weekend. You can hear it on San Diego Sports 760. Padres preparing for game 2 of their 4-game series. We'll hear from Craig Stammen coming up in about 10 minutes.
Before you go there, I'm already frustrated with SDFC. Game hasn't even started. I'm already feel like I should be angry about something.
What are you angry about?
Giving up another lead, or somebody getting a red card, or
so you already
losing a game that you're supposed to win.
You're forecasting.
Yeah, you know what happened? Here's what happened. What happened is we started talking, and Darren Smith was definitely speaking some optimism into us. Guys, don't worry. At this point last year, they're just 1 win away, and they got the same amount of points as last season, all this stuff. And then listening to Darren tell the gut punch story of what happened last Saturday against LAFC, I'm like, I feel like we brought Darren to us.
Yeah. By the way, how many losses do you think Seattle has this year? The team that SDFC is playing.
Are they bad? Are they awful?
How many losses? Just throw a number out.
They have 8 losses.
What if I told you they've lost once? One time. As in the one time they've been outscored in a match. They've only played 9 matches. Other clubs have played as many as 11. They are 6-1.
Why did
draws.
You set it up as like they're awful?
No, I was saying they're really good, so it only gets more challenging.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they play. They just need to play well. They
need to play well. Danny Higginbotham will join us coming up at 5:30. Does your tune change on Michael King? We started the show here. He goes 6 innings last night, pitched beautifully, allowed 1 hit, a solo home run. Kevin Acee telling us this has been the plan all along. He wasn't fully healthy last year. They have a vision for how they want to utilize him. Do your thoughts change on how they used Michael King last night after hearing from Kevin?
It's not fair to do it this way, but I'll do it this way. They win that game 3-2, then we're saying that, God, this team, they're so smart. They're so strategic. They're playing it differently. Maybe last season they're trying to push guys a little bit further in the regular season. And by the time you get to the postseason, they're not the best version of themselves. They're playing a sprint, not a marathon. But because they lost 2-1 and how it happened, it was bang, bang. You take Michael King out. Rodriguez gives up the run. Castellanos isn't right. Castellanos doesn't make, Tatis makes that play, whatever. You could just kind of put all these pieces together.
Yeah.
I get completely 100% understand why they have to be very strategic with Michael King. The only problem that I have is the Padres do not have the luxury of saying we can let a game kick away whenever we need to. Like, if this works our way, great. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. it's not the end of the world that the Padres lost to the Cardinals yesterday, but do you agree with me when I say this? They are just not a team. I feel like every single win and loss is critical, and not all teams are created equal. And doesn't it feel like if you got a shot to win a game, you can't screw around? But I understand where they're coming from on May 7th.
Here's why I agree with everything that you are saying. The fact that they're 22-15 obviously is a great start, but a simple stat known as run differential leads you down a path that the Padres could absolutely be scratching and clawing to get into the postseason.
They're still negative, right?
They're +6.
Oh, that's right. Because they had the stretch there.
So, but +6 over 36 games takes you down a path where at the end of the year, you're like a +25. Those margins are very thin. That puts you in a category. A team that goes +25 in runs scored in baseball could win 80 games or could win 82 games or 83 gagames. So I agree with what you're saying, which is at the end of the day, don't all Padres fans think that if they're making the postseason, they're not going to make it by 8 games. They're not going to make it by 7 games. It's much more likely that you've made it by 2 or 3 games as opposed to you've made it by 12 or 13 games. So I'm with you. They all matter. It felt like it was there for the taking. They score the early run, a gift of a run on Xander Bogaerts' swing, and then Michael King pitches as beautifully as he did. I thought they'd win the game. In watching the game last night, I'm like, they'll just find a way. They scored first. King's been great. They have their bullpen available to them. They'll win the game, and they didn't. And you don't want to run into too many of those nights where you're like, I think they'll win this game. And for whatever reason, they just didn't.
Yeah, what gets buried is the fact that they had 4 hits, that they only scored 1 run. Like what's unique about last night's situation, instead of us coming out blazing and saying, where the hell's the offense? We're talking about whether they should have kept Michael King in and how many pitches should he have thrown.
Yep.
And here you are in a game where you give up 2 runs and you lose 2-1. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the real storyline is they can't score runs, but the scenario was so unique that it was worth the conversation. The scenario was, it felt like you and I talked about a little bit earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain parts of baseball that's all predetermined. And last night was a predetermined situation with Michael King. The only thing that I was saying is like, okay, but is this not the only predicament that can play out that maybe tells you, why don't you let him start the 7th and just see? It's like the best thing, and we've seen this on both sides, is when a guy is dealing and the moment he leaves the game, it's like the best thing for the opposing side.
Right, exactly.
And I'm sure for the St. Louis Cardinals,
they're like, yeah.
The moment they saw Michael King leave, it's like, hey, this is our opportunity right here.
It is interesting, though, what you started that with, which is like, are we barking up the wrong tree? Yeah, there's a conversation we had about the way they use King in their bullpen. Okay. They had 4 hits. There's so many stats out. And as I look at this in real time, there's so many things that are so concerning.
Oh, look at you. Yeah.
Like, look at me. I'm like Kevin in Home Alone.
Yeah.
When he uses the aftershave, I'm like,
That's right.
I just watched that with my 7-year-old.
You're a movie guy.
No,
Brent.
But I don't want to.
We got a movie guy here, man.
Do you know how this? Do you know this?
And I've seen 4 of them.
Do you know the theme? They leave their kid.
I know. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's
terrible idea.
Macaulay Culkin.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right. But today it would never happen. Now you just like text like someone.
Yeah, or you have just the Ring cameras on and you're talking to your kid.
Yeah, could you really even leave your kid even in like 1990?
I know.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like I'm slapping the side of my face because the offense is, I'm telling you, dude, it's not encouraging. The only part that's encouraging is a path you've gone down before, which is like, well, at least they're in a bad shape, but Merrill, Machado, Tatis haven't done their true damage. And maybe if they do get back to who they are, that increases the overall body of work.
You want to just simplify this? I mean, I think there's people in Major League Baseball are only going to take the Padres. They'll take them serious just to an extent. But they're going to stop at the whole, either you guys start producing with your bats.
Right.
And you need your pitching to come back. And you need Pivetta to be healthy. Like, the Padres have been a really cool story to start the season. Again, this is us being critical about a team that's 7 games over 500. But if the goal is to win a World Series or be in that conversation with a World Series, there's obviously some concerning things to play out over the course of 162 games.
Right.
And if they're going to be taken seriously, you and I have to be sitting here in 30 days from now and saying Machado is mashing the ball. Tatis is rebounding like crazy. Jackson Merrill looks great again. Like that's the reality. And unless that stuff starts happening, and some of the stats that you're looking at, they're 26th here, 25th here, whatever that is, you can't be taken seriously. Today you can be taken seriously because your record is good, but I don't think you can be taken seriously come September if that's the case.
Yeah. Again, on one hand, you're 22-15. On the other hand, there's some things that probably need to be addressed, but it's only May. So like it's probably a conversation for another day. It's a conversation for today if you're 15-22. Like all the offense, the 26th in OPS, so on and so forth. The fact that you're 22-15, I feel like you can kind of continue to put it off.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm willing to do that for a brief moment. Let's hear from Craig Stammen. On the other side, we'll talk some SDFC coming up with Danny Higginbotham at 5:30 as SDFC gets ready for Seattle this weekend on the road. We're here until 6 p.m. here on Schaefer and Slewa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Schaefer and Sliwa here on San Diego Sports 760. We're talking SDFC with Danny Higginbotham, Apple TV. He'll join us in about 12 minutes at 5:30. All right, so Craig Stammen spoke with the media within the last, 30 minutes or so on a number of topics. Does this include the initial question, Brent? All right, so you're going to hear from Craig Stammen for about 3 minutes. Some pregame comments from Craig Stammen. Get ready for tonight.
On the mound today, Craig, you have Griffin Canning on the mound today. Second start in a Padres uniform. Really solid on Sunday in his first outing of the season. Your expectations for Griffin here tonight?
Yeah, hopefully more of the same. I think the first inning had a little bit of jitters. First outing in a year, or over almost a year, coming off a major injury. Always a lot of thoughts going through your brain of, am I going to be the same pitcher? Am I going to be able to do this again? And he proved he was pretty good last time out. And, the challenge is you're always thinking about the first game back.
Right.
The challenge is the second game back. Can you stay as mentally locked in and prepared? I think he's had a good week of prep and should be good to go today.
He generated a lot of swing and miss, 7 strikeouts on Sunday. Were you particularly impressed with his ability to miss bats?
Yeah, we knew he had some good off-speed stuff. It's a good changeup, good slider, and then he's showing that mid-90s fastball too. So, that generates some swing and miss. Hopefully, some more today.
All right, so Craig Stammen, again, with the media. Griffin Canning will get the ball. His second start, he was good his first time out. I'll tell you what, man, when I watched last night too, talking about like the difference between winning and losing a 2-1 game, whatever, that'll happen. I'm looking at a team like St. Louis as a team that is kind of like San Diego's equal in terms of like, wow, this is a good team. Like there's been times this year I'm like, I get it. Like, I can see how San Diego at the end of the year is going to be better than San Francisco or Colorado. I look at a team like St. Louis. I'm like, this is one of those teams. We've talked about this before. They'll be vying with 4 months from now to get into the postseason.
Well, I'd go a step further. I would say that, if you're the Padres, you want to model your organization like St. Louis.
Historically, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of, now I know the Cardinals got great history and everything else, but there's a little bit of, how they've been able to be successful, how they always seem to be in the mix. Now they've had some down years, but the Cardinals to me are like, maybe I put Atlanta in a similar category. It's like if they're bad this year, there's a good chance they're going to probably be back the following year. Now, if I heard something right on ESPN's broadcast, is St. Louis the youngest team? It's one of the younger teams in Major League Baseball.
Teams, yeah.
They're not supposed to be good yet.
They're not.
And, obviously in the mix. So last night's game to them was that's big for them, to grab that win against the Padres. Like you said, if they're one of the surprises, but I don't know what happens by the time we get to August. Is St. Louis still going to be in the mix? Is Pittsburgh still going to be in the mix? Like what teams is Philly still out of it and working their way in? The issue in the NL is, we got so many spots. I know it's expanded playoffs, but the Padres, it's going to be competitive to get in.
Dude, to your point, and I think Kevin mentioned this recently or someone we just had on, all 5 teams in the NL Central are over 500.
Yeah.
All 5 of them. Now, again, is that going to work itself out? Yeah, probably. But like, this is why Pittsburgh's on that list of teams that could beat the Dodgers. They're 21-17 somehow. St. Louis is 22-15. The Cubs have been one of the stories
26-12.
Yeah, at 26-12. So we look at it in a vacuum in baseball. It is such a local sport that everyone's like, oh, Padres are great, 22-15. Yeah, until you take the wider aperture. And you're like, well, there's a lot of teams in the National League that are probably within 1.5 games right now of the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I mean, Padres at 22-15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th best record in the NL.
Right.
So if I told you, hey, they're a game behind the Dodgers and they're right there, you're like, oh, they must be second or third. No, they're, and again, I know it's all within a couple of games. But yeah, you're right. That 22-15 record puts them 5th in the NL.
Would you call this a must-win tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers? They are back home.
I literally thought you were going to say the Padres. I thought you were going to go Padres.
They've got Joel Embiid here tonight. Anunoby is out for the next. They have to win this game.
Game threes are always must-win.
And they are trailing at the half by 8 to the Knicks in Philadelphia.
Yeah, game threes are always must-win because no team has ever in the history of the NBA come back from 0-3.
So what are you saying? Yeah,
like this is it. This is Philly's season. But this kind of says everything about the Philadelphia 76ers. You said Embiid is playing?
He is.
This says everything about the Sixers. If you can't beat the New York Knicks tonight at home in a desperation situation without OG Anunoby, who's a key member for, obviously the Knicks, then you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Like, not you don't deserve to be in the playoffs,
You don't
but
deserve to get out of this
is
round.
it.
Yeah.
Like, this says exactly who you are. I'll give you, we were hitting on the Lakers a little bit earlier, and I know their situation's different, even though I think the Knicks with Boston out is probably the favorite to make it to the finals. But tomorrow is a perfect example. You could complain about the referees. You could this, you could that. If you don't win tomorrow, the series is over against the Oklahoma State Thunder.
Yeah.
Now, if you win tomorrow, now you could start making a case like, hey, we're in this thing for the long run. And I don't know what the definition of a long run is. I thought Lakers would lose the series against the Thunder in 5 and see if that plays out.
I did say 6.
Yeah, you did say 6.
But I kind of want to change my tune.
But you
said, I'm a little mad.
Yeah, because you clearly get that the referees hosed the Lakers last night.
No, it's just that I was all for the Lakers making this a series, but I do wonder. It's something you brought up earlier. Did the Lakers, in the way they went about
wake them up?
Yeah, in the way they went about talking about the officials, light an additional fire under a team that doesn't need an additional fire lit under them. If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
They are already 6-0 in the postseason.
Yeah.
When they get pressed, they press back. Or when they get punched a little bit, they will punch back. I'm not saying they're invincible because they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not invincible.
Yeah.
And Jalen Williams is out. He's obviously a very good player.
Yeah.
But
and Luke is
and
out.
by the way, but I will say this. And Shea has looked very like humanistic. He has not looked like the greatest player in NBA history.
The Lakers have taken him out of the series.
Yeah, exactly. I forget what my point was. But my point is, did they awake a team that doesn't need to be woken up? They're already really good.
So I can see both scenarios playing out tomorrow. I could see the Lakers, who, again, I know it sounds pathetic when I say it. Lakers are lost by 18 both games. And I do feel like in both games, like, I don't think they're playing awful. Right. I don't think that, if you watch them during the regular season, they were down 20, or it was an average by 29 that they lost those games. Insane. So it's like, it's an insane number. Yeah. But I can see one of two things happening tomorrow. And I'm going to lean towards the first one. I think Lakers make this a game tomorrow. I think they probably get some calls. I think the NBA would love to see a game. I think they would love to not see a sweep. But I could also see the Oklahoma City Thunder coming out and saying, you think we're beating you because of the refs?
Right.
And taking that personal. And I could see them, I could see the head coach and Shea and all these others playing into that. Like, you always want to give your team some type of a motivation, especially if you're a championship team like the Thunder. Maybe that's a little bit of motivation for them.
All right, Danny Higginbotham, Apple TV, will join us on the other side as SDFC prepares for Seattle tomorrow night in the Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about SDFC's recent struggles on the other side here until 6 p.m. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. Padres and Cardinals are getting set for game 2 of their series tonight downtown at Petco Park. It's going to be Michael McGreevy going for St. Louis and Griffin Canning on the hill for the Padres. First pitch is set for 6:45 because they're on Apple TV tonight. In NFL news, the Jets gave running back Breece Hall a 3-year, $45 million extension. The average per year puts him at third behind all running backs. He's only behind Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. In NBA news, we got more second round action here. Currently at half in Philadelphia, the 76ers trail the Knicks 60-52. And in about an hour, we'll have the tip off of Spurs and the Timberwolves. Tomorrow night on San Diego Sports 760, we got SDFC on the road to take on Seattle. You can hear pre-match coverage with Adrian and Darren beginning at 7 o'clock. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories to keep your ride summer road trip ready. You'll find everything for pre-trip maintenance and essentials like emergency roadside kits. Shop summitracing.com and enroll in the rewards program to get even more power in every purchase.
All right, SDFC tomorrow night at Seattle. You can hear it on San Diego Sports 760. You can watch it on Apple TV. We've got Danny Higginbotham with us right now here in San Diego. And again, SDFC has not won a Major League Soccer match since March 7th. Danny, appreciate you taking time for us in San Diego. You had a lengthy professional career. I'm sure over the course of it, you had some stretches where the team was not playing well. Like, what's this? Is there any secret formula here for an SDFC team that last year was so good? This year, they've kind of fallen on hard times early in the year. What's it going to take for this team to get out of it? And thanks for hopping on.
No problem at all. My pleasure. No, there's no secret formula. I just think that if you look at, obviously, you know better than me what San Diego did last year. You know, all of a sudden everybody's aware of you. I think last year, the way they started the season, the way they dominated the ball, the way that they would just possess the ball no matter the situation, I think the level of respect has gone through the roof now. And that's sort of a double-edged sword because, you know, you want to be successful, but then teams are more aware of you. And I think we've seen that this season that, you know, they're now a team that everybody's looking at and thinking, right, okay, we have to pay special attention to them. There's specific players. Obviously, we know about Dreyer, the talent that he is. I think Tversky being out is obviously a huge blow, but I did the game last week when they played at home against LAFC, and for the first 65 minutes, they were the dominant team. They were absolutely outstanding, and then LAFC got themselves back into the game with a goal, and then obviously the momentum changes. But I just think, you know, San Diego at this point, they've not become a worse team. Let's put it that way. You don't become a worse team overnight. They've still got, you know, top class players. I've got so much respect for the manager as well, Mikey Barros, and I think it's just a case now of teams are sort of doing even more due diligence than they have done previously to find a way to stop San Diego. And when one team finds a way, then you know that other teams are going to use that as a blueprint.
I'm curious, and just kind of with that, I'll play off of that. Do a lot of people around MLS or a lot of people that cover the sport, are they expecting SDFC to turn it around? Are they expecting, hey, when the dust settles, yes, they're going to be a playoff team. Yes, this is just a bad stretch. Just is that the vibe around SDFC, or is there a lot more unknowns?
No, I can only speak from a personal perspective. I'm watching the performance obviously last week, and then I think bearing in mind that what do we have left now? 3 games, maybe 3-4 games at the most before the break for the World Cup, and then I think it's just a time for everybody to take a deep breath and then go again. I think there's a number of teams like that in MLS, whether it be the East or the West, that will sort of, I'm not saying look at it as 2 seasons, but get to the end point towards, you know, the end of May, and then take that little bit of a step back and sort of reflect and say, okay, what do we need? Do we need more players? Do we need to adjust this? Do we need to adjust that? But I don't have any concerns personally about San Diego's in terms of making the playoffs. I think that obviously people that follow the team on a regular basis, people that support the team, you know what it can be like as a supporter. Your glass can be half empty rather than half full. And I think we all tend to be like that with teams that we follow across any sport that we look at. But I think the simple fact is they had a great start to the season. I think, the CONCACAF does sometimes, or does more often than not, take a little bit out of you, because sometimes the squad gets really stretched. You've had injuries, you've had players that have left as well. And I just think that when you put all of that together, I think there's a reasonable explanation for why this is happening. It's not all of a sudden that Mike Ivaras becomes a poor coach. It's not all of a sudden that the players that stood out last season aren't good players anymore. And I think that's where everybody just needs to take a little bit of a breath and go, okay, we know what this team's all about. We know where this team is at. We know where this team can go. But I think the difference is that the opposition now are trying to find ways to stop San Diego, and they have done that. But I look at Mike Ivaras, and he believes in his philosophy, and you have managers that believe in their philosophy. You have managers that will go, okay, this is getting a little bit difficult. Let's change things. But I think you saw it last week because of the way that Mike Ivaras believes in the way that he sees the game. I think the rest of the players follow. And like I say, I thought it was a really good performance last week for, obviously, the first 65, 70 minutes, and then things went against them. But, it was 2-0 to San Diego. And when they scored their second goal, I thought that was it. I thought that it was game over because San Diego was so in control. But we know with football, it can change very, very quickly.
Danny Higginbotham with us right now, analyst for Major League Soccer on Apple TV. Again, SDFC at Seattle tomorrow at 7:30. What can you tell our listeners about Seattle? I mean, on paper, obviously a great start to their year. What has allowed them to get off to such a good start?
I just think they've got a coach in Brian Smetzer that's been there before, has done it, got all the trophies to prove it. He's got a group of players that are experienced, because you have to remember they've only played 3 games at home. So far, they've been doing a lot of traveling, and they've won all 3 games at home as well. But there's a group of players that, they can adjust. I think you watch Seattle, and sometimes when you watch a team, it's like, okay, I know the identity of this club, and I know the identity of this club. They are a team that can sort of adapt to what the opposition throws at them. So they're a team that can play counter-attacking football. They're a team that can play possession-based football. And I go all the way back to the Club World Cup last summer. Things didn't go great from us in terms of the results, but the performances were outstanding against some top teams. And I just think that sort of really upped their belief. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're unbeaten at home in the last 20 games, all competitions. So just goes to show what a fortress, Lumen Field is for them, and they will be ready for it tomorrow. And I think it's a really good game that sort of probably puts 2 teams with contrasting styles to a certain extent up against each other. And I think when you come across 2 teams like that as a neutral, it's wonderful to cover, because sometimes when 2 teams see the game the same way and play the same way, they can cancel each other out. But this will be very different. And, Seattle have got a number of match winners throughout their team. But I think the biggest thing that they have defensive stability, but also they have great experience as well within their team. And I think that goes a long way. And like San Diego, Seattle will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season.
Danny Higginbotham, analyst for MLS on Apple TV, is joining us here on the Schaefer and Sliwa Show. SDFC at Seattle tomorrow, 7:30 will be the start time. Danny, I want to read something here to you. So it's kind of been an interesting. I don't know how much you followed it, but in the San Diego Union Tribune, there is a piece that came out yesterday. It says, fans free Chucky banner captures growing frustration around San Diego FC. How much have you followed this? I guess maybe because they are losing and they're not playing well, maybe this gains some steam, but it doesn't.
Yes.
Is there a world that Chucky is back with SDFC, or is this just fans giving their opinion based off of how poor the team has started?
So let me tell you one thing, and I'll go back to my playing career. There was times when I was out injured, and I've been playing okay, and the team was suffering, the team was losing. I became a better player. To the fans, I didn't actually become a better player, but it's like, oh, he's the reason he's not playing. That's why we're losing. That's why we're not getting the results that we should be getting. When in all reality, there was a time without the player where the team is doing really well. So what happens is when you go to a point where, you know, you've lost 5 of the last 6, all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, it could be this player that is the difference maker. And you understand the fan's perspective. Now you have to look at it from a coach's perspective. And I think that is what is really big. Now, you probably know more than me what happened, but we know with Mikey Barris, he said on numerous occasions that, you know, he's been blunt with it, that, you know, he's not going to be playing. We saw that he came back, I think, in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, came off the bench. But this season, we haven't seen him. So I can't speak to that because I don't know what has gone on. All I can tell you is from my experience in a dressing room, if the coach believes that a player isn't doing the things that he should be doing, and like I say, I have no idea what's going on. So this isn't even an assumption. This is sort of not my advice, but this is sort of my opinion based on experiences that I've had, where a player has done something that's, you know, not in line with how the coach sees things. In my opinion, the coach then has to be strong, because if something has happened that the coach doesn't agree with, and it's something that other players will look at and go, players are always looking for how a coach will react to a situation. Okay. So I've been at teams where the star player, and like I say, I don't know what's happened, so I'm speaking from my experience. I've been at a team before when I was playing in the Premier League. We would always go for a walk in the morning. Okay. So 2 players, one of them was a new signing, turned up late to that morning walk. Nothing was said. Then we go for a walk. We then come, we have our meeting. The first thing, the manager says, you 2, go. Get out of this meeting room. If you can't be trusted to turn up in time, how can your teammates trust you on the day of the game? Now, the reason that struck a chord with so many of the players in that team is that one of them was a star player that had just been signed, and the other one was the captain. So all of a sudden, the players know then, right, okay, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much you're earning. It doesn't matter how much you cost. It doesn't matter how many goals you scored. You are going to be treated the same, whether you are that player or you're a player that is a squad player that may play an occasional amount of time. And that's where it's really, really important from a coach's perspective that if they see things a certain way, that everybody is treated the same. Because what happens is if a player is given special exemption, so to speak, and the other players go, hang on a second, well, if I did that, I know that there'd be a situation caused, but because I'm not the star player, I know I couldn't get away with whatever it is. So I tend to look at it. When I was a player, I wanted the best players to be playing. I didn't care if they did something, but now I see it from a coach's perspective because I call the games, because I speak to coaches all the time, because I have one-on-one chats with coaches. I see it from their perspective. So the honest answer to the question that you're asking me, long-winded, is that it's how the coach sees things. And if the coach sees that this isn't valuable to the squad, it isn't valuable to the harmony of the dressing room, whatever it may be, he needs to know, and the players need to know, that just because he is a star player, that he's not going to be treated any differently. But as I said previously, I don't know what happened. I have zero idea what happened. I just know that from Mikey Barris's perspective, he's dealing with it the best way that he can. And I think that's probably, not to send a message, but that's probably to try and say, right, as a dressing room, this is how we behave. And if we're doing whatever it is, it's not going to be acceptable.
That is amazing insight.
That's great perspective.
And perspective, it really is. Danny Higginbotham, we appreciate you taking time for us in San Diego. We're looking forward to tomorrow night, SDFC in Seattle. And thanks for taking time for San Diegans.
Thank you, man.
My pleasure.
All right, great stuff. How about that?
Yes. By the way, I love hearing it from a player perspective. Your coach is going to lose a lot of respect if you allow him to get away with certain things. Again, this is just him talking from his own perspective, but probably applied to SDFC. So I think that I think we're all confused. I think we all wish we knew a little bit more. I wish we all are wondering, hey, SDFC is struggling. Get Chucky in there.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, go back to before the start of the franchise. Chucky was like,
I know,
everyone was wrapping their arms around, and that was very short-lived, obviously. All right. On the other side, Padres are playing the Cardinals here tonight. Updates in the NBA postseason. We haven't even touched on the Spurs and the T-Wolves. A massive game 3.
Yeah.
Coming up tonight, we're here until 6 p.m. Schaefer and Sliwa, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Schaefer and microphone. Schaefer and Slee with San Diego Sports 760 for the next handful of minutes. Yeah. Brent loves microphone. Final time here on this Friday afternoon.
Microphone gets ratings.
It really does.
Microphone.
Do we have a read that we need to do?
Yeah.
And then tell our listeners about what's going on Monday afternoon.
All right. SDFC on the road tomorrow night when they go to Seattle to take on the Sounders. Our coverage with Adrian and Darren will begin at 7 p.m. on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Game will start at 7:30. And then we were talking a little bit earlier about this. I got to go and find the address again. But we have a broadcast we're doing this upcoming Monday. Rancho Penasquitos. We're going to be at
Naughty
Barrel, which is in Rancho Penasquitos. We'll be there from 3 to 6. So if you're out in that area, you're within 10, 15 minutes. It's going to be the first time where we actually get a chance to kind of interact with listeners as we're doing a show. Come join us. Come swing by. Whatever you want. John will take care of everything.
Yeah.
You want bottle service? Get bottle service.
What kind of bottles?
Bottles.
Like of ketchup? Mustard?
I'll take a bottle of hot sauce.
It's Naughty Barrel. And again, that is in Rancho Penasquitos.
Yep.
And the address is 13211. So 13211 Black Mountain Road.
Outside, beautiful day.
Yeah, we're going to be outside.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah,
we're going to be outside. So join us again Monday from 3 to 6. Kevin Acee will be on the show on Monday as well. Padres will have wrapped up this 4-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Game 2 of this series with Griffin Canning on the mound is coming up tonight at 6:40 in less than an hour.
Really curious about him again. His second go around. I think it would give some relief for a lot of Padre fans, and I'm sure the team.
Yeah.
If he has another good outing, right? Like there's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We've talked about just the margin of error. We've talked about, hey, what happens when Lucas Giolito comes and AC was saying that, maybe that's Waldron that gets sent down. But no matter what, it's like we're just looking for some starting pitching. It's so funny. Here I was. We went back to yesterday's game, and we're complaining about taking Michael King out in a 1-1 game. They give up 2 runs, and we're like I'm blaming it on Stammen and the whole front office.
4 hits
right?
in the entire
and
game.
The only run they scored was in the first
check swing
off a check swing.
swing.
Yeah.
All right. So Padres playing game 2 tonight. Sixers playing for their playoff lives, essentially trailing the Knicks in the third quarter by 6, but with a little bit of life. And then tonight, this surprises me a little bit. You're not a big betting line guy.
Wait. You want me to guess this?
Yeah, I'm going to. So T-Wolves hosting the Spurs, series tied at 1. I already prefaced it a little bit.
No, I think I'm gonna say Spurs are 2.5-point favorites.
You'd be wrong.
Way wrong?
Wrong by some points.
So
Try one more time.
Minnesota's the favorites?
No. But San Antonio is a 5.5-point favorite tonight on the road.
That's a lot.
5.5-point
That's
favorites.
a lot.
The Timberwolves are undefeated at home in the playoffs this year, and they've won all their games big, so that's probably part of it.
No, but the Spurs are 5.
Underdogs.
Yeah, they're dogs. Spurs are 5.5-point favorites.
Isn't that surprising?
Yeah, but the spread was bigger earlier in the
saying.
season, so I'm saying that's probably why it shrunk.
I think 5.5 is a big number.
Tied the series 1 apiece. Is there something to losing by 38 in a game? That
Maybe.
might have something to do with it.
Yeah, it's like the Spurs kind of figured it out, maybe. Maybe that's what Vegas is telling us.
I don't know. I don't think you figured it out. I think a lot of times it's not uncommon in playoff games. I mean, Minnesota accomplished their goal.
Yeah.
They got one, and it's not uncommon to kind of get your ass kicked in the playoffs and then rebound back.
Completely agree. Did you hear something, by the way, that Danny Higginbotham told us? We have SDFC Seattle coming up tomorrow night at 7:30. He said Seattle, he believes, has not lost at Lumen Field in their last 20 matches. That's a lot. So Seattle, he believes, has not lost. Now that's something that would be nice to hang your hat on. Win there. That's real. That's something to hang your hat on if you can win there. But doesn't sound like it's going to be easy.
Seattle's back.
3 wins in 3 home matches.
Brother, they're going to get the Sonics again, too. They're going to have.
They got the full enchilada, right? The Kraken and Mariners rolling.
It's literally, truly every San Diegan's dream now. We're looking at Seattle, and it's like, can we get half of what you have?
Right. Because they got all 5 with Major League Soccer.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are on a 20 match.
20 match. 20 matches without losing at home. That is
now. Do you call their games too?
Seattle or SDFC?
Seattle.
No.
I feel like you have so many different things that you're doing that if you just told me randomly, like, I also do a post-game Seattle show.
I couldn't if I get a call suddenly right now and Adrian's like, I lost my voice.
Yep.
Now Darren has done a lot of play-by-play and has done a really good job.
But they both
let's say they both lost their voice.
Sure.
Seems rare.
Yeah. And they both called you at the same time.
And they both called, and then my phone wasn't even ringing, but I got then the voicemail message. They said, we need you to call this, and it's in an hour and a half. Get to Snapdragon.
What would happen?
Game.
Yeah, what would happen?
I mean, I would fake my way through it and it would be excruciatingly hard and bad. Because I just don't. I didn't grow. I'm not accustomed to calling it. I've called some college soccer. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
What Adrian and Darren do, they make it sound easy. It's not easy, in my opinion. I think it's a very hard call.
Yeah.
Which is why I give them a lot of
some
credit.
Of these play-by-play people. I mean, talented on your end too to be doing football and basketball. There's some that just jump to everything. Like, give me golf, give me soccer, give me this.
Adrian does everything. Adrian does literally everything. It's called Super Bowls, World Series.
If you hear tomorrow from Adrian,
I'm gonna give him your number.
No. If you hear, go. Not good.
That's Seattle.
Yeah, that's not.
But
good.
if he texts me tomorrow, hey, I lost my voice, I'm gonna say call Allen. All right, back Monday at 3 p.m. Join us from Naughty Barrel, Rancho Penasquitas, 3 to 6 for Brent and Allen. I'm John. This is Schaefer and Sliwa. Have a good weekend. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.